1999 Constitution, we say the foundational life from the military unification decree of 1966. This constitution has been identified as a principle first empowering and the oppressive rule in Nigeria. It was no making of the indigenous people, but in the caliph and the controlling military regime of the General Abdulsalam Abubakar. It is the passion in such a way that the free of and the state of economic assets and they built all the entire control of this asset into the hands of the Fulani controlled federal government. This has been identified as a major cause of underdevelopment and the hardship to the policy experience and the Yoruba and other indigenous Nigerian citizens. In the 21st century, it is called that they are said and done and the terrible instrumental and defeat, and the basic amenities are non-exist. The constitutional law piece and identify also shown to place the replacement on under portion and the monetary allocation. It is a matter of the fact that the sword and the seas in the inceptions of the current regimes of President Buhari, there has been a systematic enthronement of the Fulani leadership across the nation security offices. This has been observed to be the strategic cover for Fulani atrocity across Nigeria. At the convocation ceremony, General Taufik Danjuma had asserted that the security forces could launch an arm and the bandits. At the present, the insecurity is unprecedented, and the Fulani attack against the indigenous Nigeria and the taking dimension of the genocide. The attack came from the mothers of the rape, kidnapping, and the ransom and the certain ethnic cleansing and the elimination of the land by force. There is also a strategic destruction of the agricultural parties and the collusion through the use of the Fulani cow by Fulani herdsmen in an outdated open grazing. This has led a death of the numerous farmers and the agricultural basis, economic activities across the southwest, southeast, south-south, and the middle belt of Nigeria. Too many problems are born in the Nigerian prison. There have been the tendency and the learning toward the deprivation of the freedom of speech. In its electoral space, there is obvious in impossibilities of the free and fair election. We have the witness the military exercise in the southwest and the Pacific, marginalization, and everyone is being put in fear of invasion. And the Fulani has made their intention to know that they want to take the land belonging to indigenous Nigeria. In respect of all these certain positions, we, as a people of common interest in freedom and self-determination, resolve to raise our voice globally to the international community. Hence of our gathering at this event, we will not relent, and we must be put prayer on the government of the world on the needs of the intervention of Nigerian crisis and send support for Yoruba and other nationalities. Peaceful exit from Nigeria, and we raise our voice to the government of the United States of America. We hold out a strong opinions for the positive results. On our self-determination, we stand. Thank you all, and God bless you for the listener. Once again, my name is Prophet Ayodele Olootu, the chairman for Yoruba Nation Diaspora Mega Rally. God bless you all. Yoruba Nation! Yoruba Nation! Yoruba Nation! Thank you all. God bless you.
God bless Oduduwa Nation, and God bless United States of America. Iléyá, Iléyá o, ọmọ Oòduà, Iléyá, Iléyá, Iléyá o, ọmọ Oòduà, Iléyá. Àti bọ́bí táwọn àwọn ń padà sílé. Àti láwọn tí ó yọ, àti bọ́bí làkàná. Iléyá, Iléyá o, ọmọ Oòduà. Ọmọ Oòduà tó wà kárí ayé, ìlàgbé gbọ́dọ̀ ìlàkẹ́ sí ẹ̀ka lọ, ẹja rẹ̀ lé bàbá wa. Mo ní bàbá lọ bí tá à ń rè lásìkò yìí, ọjọ́ wípé àti dèwúrẹ́ jẹlẹ́jẹlẹ́. Àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́jà, àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́ṣà, àwọn ọmọ oníwà, àwọn ọmọ onílé ilé, ọmọ Odùduwà, ọmọ ọba, gbogbo wa ló yẹ ká parapọ̀ lájọ sọ wípé orílẹ̀-èdè ni wá, orílẹ̀-èdè tó dá dúró láti àkọ́dá ayé ni wá, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Odùduwà àwọn ọ̀fẹ́ pààyàn náà torí pé ìrànwọ́ ò kì í ṣe pààyàn-pààyàn, ìrànwọ́ ò kì í ṣe dárọ́dárọ́, ìrànwọ́ òde ni wá, ìran tó dájọ́ tó ládé tó ládé tó ládé láàfin aládé, ó ní ìrànwọ́ káàárọ̀ òjíire, Odùduwà nation. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi. Now God bless Odùduwà nation and God bless United States of America. I'm standing to represent my dear lovely mother in person of Dr. Barrister Fashakin, Janet Fashakin. She's supposed to be the one that will take this aspect because she's our mother, she's a barrister, she's a woman of knowledge, a woman of wisdom, a passionate mother for that matter. But I'm going to read on her behalf a message from her heart to the United States of America and to the sons and daughters of Odùduwà nation so that they know where they are coming from and where they need to be. The 1914 amalgamation in Nigeria destroyed an indigenous political and administrative system that was far more democratic and accountable, and replaced it with a colonial system of government that was only undemocratic and lacked any kind of accountability. Lord Lugard arrived in Lagos in 1912 as the first governor general of the British colony of Nigeria. He introduced the so-called amalgamation of the colonial territory in 1914 and left the country finally in 1918, meaning he just spent 4 years. In effect, he had only 4 years to give effect to the amalgamation and introduce a central administration, which was claimed to be the central objective of the amalgamation. But he felt dismayed in this respect. He had limited time for the task, but he also had some preconceived and erroneous ideas about how the ethically diverse people of the territory were to be ruled. This undermined the basic objective of his administration. Number one, first, he did very little to bring the territory under a single central administration. We are here to talk about the effect of the amalgamation of 1914 on the Yoruba people, the Odùduwà people. Because many countries, they just believe that we are supposed to be one in Nigeria. But this is our story. There was no serious attempt to bring the huge territory under a single central administration. So Lord Lugard did not have the financial and human resources he needed for this purpose. In addition, the First World War started in 1914, diverted attention from British colonies in Africa. And then in 1939, Another world war broke out. It was not until after the Second World War that Britain began to turn its attention to its Africa colonies, particularly Nigeria, the largest. From amalgamation in 1914 until 1946, there was no political, and I repeat, for those who are going about politics here and there, and are celebrating that it's only through politics in under one Nigeria that can give us a better life. I tell you, you'll miss it. From amalgamation, there was no any, from amalgamation in 1914 until 1946, there was no political or administrative interaction among the various peoples of Nigeria. No. The three colonial territories continue to be governed separately as if they were three countries. Did you hear that, people? They were operating as if they were three countries. But now, we have only one country ruled by Fulanis. It was only in 1946, under the Richard Constitution, that a feeble attempt was made to bring representatives of the various administrative units together at an assembly in Lagos. But then, the new constitution also created regional councils for the three provinces in colonial Nigeria. The officials had become more northern. Did you hear that? More northern, the northerners, fostering the local sense of difference, even of superiority towards the south. They are feeling so superior over other regions. Yeah, they are born to rule, yeah. But we are the owner. The Lagos meeting was a disaster and broke up with all sides protesting. British administrative style in Nigeria. It was at this one meeting that the northern leader, Paul Ahmadu Bello, protested that the mistake, and I repeat it, it was a mistake. We were not supposed to be one. We were not supposed to be together. It was a mistake of 1940 has come to light. His sentiment. So the mistake started from Ahmadu Bello. Those who are calling us secessionists, that we are the one breaking Nigeria. Even Ahmadu Bello recognized the amalgamation of 1940 was a mistake. The sentiments regarding the amalgamation was shared by southern elites, including the Lagos educated elites. Once dismissed contemptuously by Lugard as the trousered natives, in those 32 years, after amalgamation, the various territories had diverged a lot, making any form of political unit more difficult. And secondly, Lugard had extended to the entire territory his obnoxious system of indirect rule, which was strongly opposed in the Southern Protectorate. The situation he met in the North was considerably different from that which he had led in 1906 as a governor of the Northern Protectorate, under the decentralizing influence of his successors in the North. The British residents had become autocratic within their semi-autonomous emirates by then. There had grown in Whitehall a mistaken feeling that the classical pattern of narrative administration in Africa had been discovered, a sort of magic formula outlining an organic relationship between indirect rule and semi-feudal African political institutions, but the circumstances associated with the foundation of the Southern Protectorate and its problem were far different from those of the North. And the reason is not far-fetched, it's because we are not the same. We are never the same. We don't share the same culture. We don't share the same language. We don't share the same value. We don't share the same, nothing. We have nothing in common. So the South had been penetrated gradually, not by the conquest as in the North, but by treaties, much of which were actually obtained under duress and false promises. All these things were achieved under duress and false promises. The point that the United States of America need to know, and the whole world, this is what they're supposed to know, that the South is more developed, and this is the reason. With its proximity to the coast, The South had for long been subjected to Western influences. Even before the acquisition of Lagos in 1861, there were already educated natives there. Christian missionary schools has been established in the South for well over 50 years before amalgamation. Southern Muslims had free access to this missionary school, which means we relate with love. We don't have religion problem in the South and the West. The CMS Grammar School, Nigeria's oldest secondary grammar school, had been founded in 1859 by the Anglican missionaries. The products of this missionary education disliked the extension of indirect rule to the South. There was no unified religion in the South, such as Islam, which could transcend tribal loyalties. The power of the chiefs and urbans in the South differ profoundly from those of their northern counterparts. Even the way we rule our kings are different, totally different. The way we do our kingdom, they are totally different from the northern parts. In certain cases, particularly in the Southeast, society was lacking in a strong, highly centralized political organization, as Lugard saw it in this respect. The first step is to find how can a man who does not even understand our language, our territories, our culture, our tradition, our belief, our values, come and just put everyone together. Is that not a great mistake? Yes. And it has taken millions of lives, it has taken them down the road. But we want it no more. We are saying Yoruba sovereign nation. Yoruba sovereign nation. Yoruba sovereign nation. As Lugard saw it, in this respect, the first step is to find a man of influence as chief, and then group under him. Look at the cunningness, the deception. He looks for an influence chief and then group under him as many villages of districts as possible. This is the origin of the warrant chiefs in the Southeast. It was to prove an administrative disaster, the consequences of which are still with us today. Lugard considered the Yoruba Obas. So our kings, they should hear this one. Lugard considered, because I saw many of them celebrating the monuments that Lugard considered all the Yoruba Obas as overlords of central organized kingdom, like the Northern Emirates, ideally suitable for its indirect rule system. And furthermore, since indirect rule are developed in the north, among the despotic emirs, he concluded that a powerful chief was indispensable to the system. There was thus a tendency to create chiefs when they could not be found, or to exalt them where they did not seem sufficiently powerful. In effect, Lugard and some of his successors, as governors general, committed the following of seeking to make as it were a crown or a king at the top, and then try to find something underneath on which it might appropriately be placed. This was a monumental error, as it was to lead to semi-autocratic rule and lack of accountability by post-colonial governments in Nigeria. For instance, Abeokuta had in 1893 established a semi-independent state by treaty with the British. Lugard was opposed to this. Why? Why should he oppose? There's a reason. Determined to remove this anomaly, Lugard took advantage of disturbances in 1914 over direct taxation in Egbaland to abrogate the 1893 treaty with the Alake, who had requested for British colonial troops. This is one of the reasons why history was eradicated in the education of our in our educational system. But by the grace of the Almighty and the Alales, everything, any àṣẹ. Torí a ti gba Odùduwà, a ti gba ìjọba wa. In the East, the introduction of direct taxation under the system of indirect rule led to a rebellion, which Lugard put down brutally with the death of some 500 protesters. So they have been killing protesters for so many years back. Before British colonialism in Nigeria, neither the Obas nor the Emirs enjoyed such autocratic powers as they did later under British colonial rule. So our kings are suffering, the citizens are suffering, women are suffering, men are suffering, children are suffering, aged ones are suffering. Everybody is suffering in the land because of this amalgamation. There were checks and balances in both before colonial rule, after which they were elevated to the status of semi-gods. Of course, colonial rule was itself autocratic, isn't it? It was not based on checks and balances, is it? No. The essence of indirect rule through the emirs and obas was that loyalty to a tribal chief must be given unhindered and be free from outside interference. Wow. This practice led to the creation of feudal monarchies that actually had no place in pre-colonial Nigeria. This was what our current political leaders inherited. Ogun ubi nije. Sọ pé mo k'ogun ubi. Èmi ò ní jogún ọ̀ràn. Ogun pàyàn-pàyàn, ogun èrú, ogun 419, ogun corruption. Let me read out again because it was highlighted. This was all this corruption, all this manipulations, all this, I call it witchcraft, bewitchment. These our current political leaders inherited the same. In fact, they now multiply it. And it explains their lack of commitment to the rule of law and public accountability. Now, those who are watching us, I mean, even United States of America, then if you violate any law, you must pay, irrespective of who you are. Either you're a president or you are a mayor, you must face the rule of law. But in Nigeria, because of what they have inherited from Lord Lugard, now they could not even commit themselves to the rule of law. They are not public accountable again. In effect, the 1914 amalgamation in Nigeria destroyed an indigenous political and administrative system that was far, far, far more democratic and accountable, and replaced it with a colonial system of government that was only undemocratic and lacked any kind of accountability. And that is why we are telling all those who are still clamoring for 2023 election. You see, we are still under colonial system. Colonial system. So we are not free because we have a constitution that will never allow any accountability. Yoruba is sovereign nation, local. It laid the foundation for autocratic government in Nigeria virtually without any checks and balances in the system. While in traditional society, there were means, and you know, if it were to be a dual nation, listen to this. In traditional society, there were means of checking and curbing abuses by the emirs and obas. Indirect rule tended to encourage illiterate conservatives and often autocratic emirs and obas. One critic of the system observed that the emirs today are maintained by British bayonets so that there are men holding this position who will not last 1 week once these bayonets were to cease. Did you hear that? Ẹni tó bá wá jalè nílé Oòduà kí ló máa ṣe? Ògùn á gbé. Ẹ wò, àwọn èèyàn ti behave well ni. People will behave well because they know that there will be truth, there will be sanity, there will be justice. Because there will be life for everybody. There will be good life for everybody. Now we are talking about Boko Haram. Christian missionary to the United States of America, we need you to listen to us. We are a nation from the beginning. All we are asking for today is a recognition of our sovereignty, a recognition of Yoruba nation sovereignty. And this is one of the reasons Christian missionaries in Zaria condemned British colonial rule in Nigeria for its failure to use the system of indirect rule as an instrument of progress in the north. Lord Lugard's administration was hostile to Christians. See the beginning. Can you see the foundation now? Lord Lugard, who joined us together, was hostile to the Christian missions and schools in the north for fear that their revolutionary ideas might create a body of opinion that would challenge British colonial rule and the authority of the hermits. So this is the source of the existing wide gap in education between the north and the south in Nigeria, with profound political and economic implications for the country. Boko Haram is a direct consequence of these laughs from Lord Lugard. In the long run, the question that we should ask, that everybody should ask, that Nigerian government should ask, that Yoruba indigenes should ask, that United States of America should ask. This is the question. Where amalgamation and the consequent system of indirect rule were supposed to lead, where is it leading us to? Destruction? Darkness? Poverty? Is that what life is all about? Bloodshedding? Insecurity? If we are to be joined together to live together, are we not supposed to progress? Are we not supposed to move forward better? Yeah. They said, Agbajowo la fin soya, ajejewo kan ogberu dori. So if the amalgamation is to our own benefit, is it not supposed to make us one of the most beautiful places to be in the world? But now, Nigeria is a place where nobody wants to travel to. Yes. Lord Lugard and British colonial rule in Nigeria gave little or no thought to this question. It's a means of leading the people of Nigeria to self-rule. The system was a total failure. Even the Western world knows this. That this is a disaster. This is a failure. Feudal chieftaincies created by the system were not compatible with a modern progressive state. We are not backward people. Slave to continue. We are not meant to be a slave. We were born free man, born free woman, kings and queens in the land of Oduduwa. We are princes and princesses in the land of Oduduwa. We are business. We have people, our women are enterprising, beautiful. But today, they have become beggars in the streets. The British colonial rule did some good in Nigeria anyway, but that it did some harm too, especially its failure to adequately prepare Nigeria for future development as a united, democratic, and progressive modern state. It was at best a partial success. The indirect rule system that follow amalgamation remains, and I repeat, this indirect rule system that follow amalgamation of 1914 remains the major source of ethnic and tribal politics in Nigeria today. So we are saying to the United States of America and to all the every country in the part of the world that the amalgamation of 1914, and I say it again, the amalgamation of 1914, which expired in 2014, was the root cause of the problem that we have in Nigeria today, isn't it? Yes or no? I read it again. There is nothing else. It is not because we don't have the resources. It is not because we don't have educated people. It is not because we don't have human resources or we don't have brain. Our fathers, what is job, they have been ruling. They have an established kingdom. But here it is, here the problem lies. The amalgamation of 1914, which expired in 2014, was the only, and we repeat, the only, which means the solution is for us to be separated. The solution for us is to exit. Yes. The solution for us is to break Nigeria. Yes. So therefore, it's the root cause of the problem that we have in Nigeria today. Yes or no? Yes. This message I read, this message came from the heart of a well-knowledgeable woman and a barrister, somebody who knows rule of law, somebody, not just somebody, but a practicing barrister, Dr. Janet Fashakin, and I'm just standing in a gap. I'm standing in gap for her today. And this is to let you know that the only solution to stop the killing, the poverty, the suffering, the death, the bloodshed in Nigeria today is self-determination. And self-determination by allowing every indigenous people. I don't care if any other indigenous people does not want to go. But as far as Olootu people, the Yoruba people are concerned, all we are asking, because we are a nation before, all we are asking you to do for us is to recognize our sovereignty. Yoruba nation, Yoruba sovereign nation, Yoruba sovereign nation, Yoruba sovereign nation. And this credit to Dapo Fafowora. God bless United States of America. God bless Oduduwa nation. God bless all our kings as they hear us and as they join us, as they agree with us that there is no way. Ileya, Ileya, Ọmọ Oòduà, Ileya, 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 Ọmọ Oòduà, Ileya. Àti mọ bí tàún rè, àti padà wá sílé, àti jáwọ́ lápọ̀n tí kò yọ, àti gómìnà kàná. Iléyá, Iléyá, lélẹ̀ ni ó máa fẹ́. Now, the next thing is we're going to listen to one of our barrister also. Ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n kẹ́ lè mọ̀ pé ọmọ Odùduwà á ṣe àṣàdànù. Àṣà ìmọ̀ jẹ́rìí. I call Barrister Ayo Martins. Barrister Ayo Martins, are you ready? Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start on the notes that our last speaker just ended. That's beautiful song of Yoruba. We have so many beautiful songs in Yoruba land, and I'm going to sing one, to encourage me into making the statement to President Joe Biden, to make a statement on behalf of all the Yoruba people across the globe, to Vice President Kamala Harris, to make a statement to all the world leaders, the leaders in United States of America, the majority leader of Senate in United States of America, to equally make a statement on behalf of the Yoruba people to the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And that song goes thus. Yoruba nation yìí tí gbogbo wa ni. Kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè mọ̀. Àjò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Ẹ jẹ́ a jọ gbé. Yoruba nation yìí tí gbogbo wa ni. Kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ. Àjò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Thank you. Yoruba nation. No. Yoruba nation, self-recognition. Yoruba nation, self-recognition. Good afternoon, His Excellency, the President of the United States of America. Because this, our meeting today, is an epoch-making event. It's a meeting that will need an intervention from the United States of America. That is the moment we are right here gathered in the Department of the United States of America in Washington, D.C. to make a statement on behalf of about 60 million Yoruba people in Nigeria that is being presently entrapped in Nigeria. Equally, to make a statement on behalf of Yoruba people in the diaspora, including the United States of America, in the Caribbean, in Brazil, all over the world, to make a statement that we have made a resolve to exit Nigeria. In fact, as I'm talking to you, we have done the necessary thing we ought to do under the law to pronounce our freedom, to pronounce the sovereignty of the Yoruba nation. What we are here gathered today is just to alert the world community, the world leader, the international community, to give recognition to this newly formed Yoruba state. Because by the virtue of the petition which we signed recently before the United Nations, 5 million Yoruba people, sons and daughters across the globe, signed the petition which is our own referendum, that we are exiting from Nigeria, because we have seen that Nigeria has done nothing to us. But Nigeria has brought pillage to the masses of our people. Nigeria has brought disaster. Nigeria has brought murder. Nigeria has brought to us raping of our women in Nigeria. We don't have any choice other than to tell the whole world that Yoruba nation, we have exited from Nigeria, from the equation in Nigeria. I have a lot of things to say. I don't know where to start. But let me start with, that was a preamble, the introduction. Nigeria, do you know Nigeria is going down the precipice? Nigeria has drawn the efforts of our heroes past have been put in vain, and no thanks to I'll still come back to that. You know, we lawyers, we don't like to be interjected. We like our story to take a story, because I'm telling a story and I'm going to end at a particular place in my story that I'm telling, so that every one of you, everyone that is here gathered, if you now feel that my story is not complete, there's always a chance to come, you know, and say an addendum to the story which I'm telling. Nigeria is going down the precipice. We don't have a choice as Yoruba people across the globe to exit from Nigeria peacefully. No thanks to General Muhammadu Buhari. General Muhammadu Buhari, the president of Nigeria, is presently supervising the genocide, is presently committing a crimes against humanity. And we have no choice. We have to let the international community to be aware of this, our plight as Yoruba people who are civilized, who are well educated, well read, well traveled in Nigeria. But we are just trapped in Nigeria. Buhari is the head of the Janjaweed. When I was making my research about what a Janjaweed is a group of militia that have come from Sahel, from Sudan, from Arab, to come and unleash terror on the innocent civilian population, the faceless civilian population. Muhammadu Buhari is the #1 Boko Haram in Nigeria. I want the world leaders to know this. And that's the reality. General Muhammadu Buhari, the present president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is supposed to be the Federal Republic of Nigeria in any way, but really, it is the Federal Republic of Fulani people in Nigeria. And we are saying, we the Yoruba people, we are not going to be involved in that kind of an equation. And that's the reason why I pity some of these our politicians that are still maneuvering, that still believe that there will be election in Yoruba land, that there will be election in Nigeria, that there will be election. Is it not appalling? Just last Sunday, a terrorist attack occurred in Nigeria. People who were gathered worshiping, serving their God in St. Francis Catholic Church in Ondo State of Nigeria. Some gunmen sponsored by Muhammadu Buhari, and my mentioning about his name, I need anybody to call me to question. I have a whole lot of evidence to show that Buhari, President Muhammadu Buhari, is the #1 Boko Haram in Nigeria. And they're out there to terrorize the rest of the population. Because as of today, do you know that all the killers, more than 100 people were killed just this last Sunday in Nigeria, in a church in Ondo State, in Yoruba land. And Buhari-led administration is not bringing out the state machinery. It's not rolling out the tanks of the military. They go into the bushes where these people, these terrorists are lurking to get them arrested and prosecute them. I'm going to shock you by certain revelation I'm going to make now. Are you aware, although I've been asked to talk about the 1999 Constitution, I'm coming back to that place. Then maybe I should quickly talk about the 1999 Constitution, you know, so that we can actually correlate our story. I can match my story with my learned friend, you know, on whose behalf the first speaker read a piece, because she has talked about the amalgamation of Nigeria. And I want to talk about the 1999 Constitution. And I want to talk about how the process of that Constitution is brought to bear. And I equally want to marry that with colonialism, new colonialism, and imperialism. And I'm going to romance it with the fact that Yoruba people, we are not going to be part and parcel of that kind of an equation. The 1999 Constitution, do you know that Nigeria, as it is presently constituted, Nigeria is operating a law that is not derived from the sovereignty of the entire masses of the people of Nigeria. Because before we can have a constitution, there are processes upon which a constitution is made. There must necessarily be a constitutional convention. In advanced democracies of the world, like the United States of America, Australia, India, all these democracies are advanced democracies, and they lay down a proper legal framework before their constitution was made. Let me quickly go into that. Do you know that the United States of America, where we are all here gathered, when they wanted to make a constitution for the construction, for the peace and progress, for the development of the United States of America, 55 eminent personalities in the United States of America gathered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the year 1787. These eminent people gathered together. They drafted a constitution for the good governance of the United States of America. And that is the reason why United States of America keep prospering, keeps developing as a geometric progression. And that's the reason why all of us, we run away from where our life is being demanded to come and seek refuge and to come and possibly contribute our own quota to the gross domestic product of America. Mark my word, in all these things I'm saying, the United States of America's Constitution was constructed through a constitutional convention in 1787. In Australia, do you know that the Constitution was first drafted between the year 1891 and year 1898? Through series of constitutional convention. Mark all those words, constitutional convention. And these are advanced democracy, which is equally, they are federal democracy that can be compared to what we have in Nigeria. You have seen that I've not mentioned about United Kingdom. I have my reason, and my reason is deliberate. I will soon get to the end of that story. Do you know that some delegates equally in India, in the year 1948, they gathered in a constitutional convention and they make a constitution for themselves. they made a constitution for themselves. And that constitution, brought about the progress, egalitarianism of Indian society that we have today. But in the case of Nigeria, our own constitution was given to us through military decree. And that decree is decree number 24 of 1999. The decree of the military to govern a whole humongous population of 220 million Nigerian population. Some military adventurers came to the space to come and make a convention, a decree for us, seizing the sovereignty of the Nigerian people. Is that reasonable? And that's the reason why the present problem that is presently going on in Nigeria keeps going at alarming rate. There's killing, there's pillaging, there's raping, there's all sorts of crime against humanity. Do you know that that constitution was given by General Abdulsalami Abubakar? General Abdulsalami Abubakar is a stooge of the Fulani people of Nigeria. He appointed Professor Yadudu and sat him down in his chamber and drafted that constitution for the entire people without seeking my consent as a Yoruba man, without seeking the consent of the Biafra people, without seeking the consent of anybody. They just brought this constitution to come and take effect in Nigeria. And that was the most important law in Nigeria as of today. That's the reason why we are saying, we Yoruba people across the globe, we are making a statement today that we were not consulted. Our consent was not sought before that constitution came to be. And we don't want to be part and parcel of that equation any longer. Our founding fathers, our founding fathers who started the journey towards merging towards the independent state of Nigeria, to bring everybody together, apart from the 1914 amalgamation. You know that Nigerian independence was since 1960, what our founding fathers subscribed to by virtue of the McPherson Constitution of 1950 that was brought to law, to the force of law in 1951, was actually a constitution that recognized regional autonomy. Little Constitution too, support the principle of autonomous regions in Nigeria. And that was the agreement that the Yoruba people, for us to be part and parcel of Nigeria, we have to control our resources, we have to secure our lives and property. So also the Eastern Nigeria, who is likely the Biafra people and the Igbo people as of today. Then the Northern Nigeria, all of us, we were there operating a regional autonomous system of government. And we were actually contributing a task to a loose federal government, to a loose center. And that is what is used for matters that involves the Commonwealth matters, like military, like company and allies matter, etc. No sooner than the military adventurers, no sooner than they came to power, they destroyed this system, they destroyed this regional system. They took, in fact, Nigeria has been stealing from the Yoruba people. And I see no reason why we have to remain in that, under that contraption called Nigeria. All the development that our Chief Obafemi Awolowo did in the Western region, using the cocoa money, as the main staple of economic income generation in the Yoruba land. That money was what was used to give the Yoruba people the first television station in Africa. The first television station in Africa. That money was what was used to build the premier university in Africa. the University of Ibadan. Equally, University of Ife. All of these, our heritage, has been taken away from us by Nigeria just because we have subscribed to the equation called Nigeria. And we are saying we don't want this any longer. That constitution is a unitary constitution. Our forefathers subscribed to federalism. The constitution that brought out of 98% the legislative list, they brought 68 of it to the exclusive list. That means it is only the federal government that can make laws on all those 68 items. The only 30 that is remaining is a concurrent legislative list. Do you know that if all these federating states, like Lagos State, Ogun State, Yoruba State, the northern states, Zamfara, Sokoto, do you know that if they make laws in all those, okay, let me round off. I did promise you that I'm going to give you the evidence why General Muhammadu Buhari was the #1 Boko Haram in Nigeria. I'm going to read some stuff to you now. Do you know that Boko Haram in the year 2012, before General Muhammadu Buhari came to become the president of Nigeria, in 2012, Boko Haram picked Buhari to moderate talks with the government of Nigeria. That piece can be seen in the Nation newspaper of November 2, 2012. It is all over the internet. Do you know that Buhari in 2023, precisely June 2nd, 2013, he indeed told the federal government of Goodluck Jonathan that he should stop Boko Haram members, he should stop the killing of Boko Haram members, the people who are terrorists. Buhari, who is your present president of Nigeria, is telling them that they should stop the killing of Boko Haram. The Boko Haram people that are going about killing people, pillaging people, have you forgotten so easily the 200, more than 200 Chibok girls that were kidnapped in a school? They sold those girls to slavery. Since now, up till now, those 200 innocent children were still being sold to slavery. Some of them were married to the Boko Haram commanders. Yet Buhari said they should stop the killing of Boko Haram. Do you know that Buhari fought crackdown on Boko Haram members? That is equally on the Nation, June 2, 2013. Military offensive against Boko Haram is anti-North. That is Buhari still talking in June 2013. Equally, how Buhari stop us from fighting Boko Haram? South African mercenary. They, say this to the entire world that Buhari, the president of Nigeria, the present president of Nigeria, he asked them to stop the killing of this Boko Haram. I have a whole lot of evidence to convince you that the president of Nigeria is the #1 Boko Haram in Nigeria. No wonder. Do you know that there's one program they call Operation Safe Corridor? All the Boko Haram that have killed, that have made, that have destroyed so many things. Do you know that Buhari, without taking them to court, without charging them, without convicting them, Buhari will give them pardon. He will rehabilitate them for killing Nigerians. He said, thank you for killing many people. He will rehabilitate them. He will give them money. Many of them have been drafted into the military of Nigeria. And that's the reason why it seems that Nigerian military is so weak. One of the strongest military in Africa. This is a military that assisted in the ECOMOG operation in Western Africa countries. So what are we talking about? My dear people, Yoruba nation is exiting. We have exited from Nigeria. There's no going back. Yoruba nation! Yoruba nation! Yoruba nation! Iléyá, Iléyá o, ọmọ Oòduà, Iléyá, Iléyá, Iléyá o, ọmọ Oòduà, Iléyá.
Yoruba nation now. Yoruba sovereign nation. Are you tired? Maybe to some people who are listening to us, one of our culture is drum. One of our tradition, we use drum, to talk, to demonstrate, to explain. Either we are happy, we want to pass a message. So, and ara àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ kó sọnù lọ́wọ́ wa nìyẹn. Òun ni àwọn àṣà àti ìṣe wa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, àwọn tí wọ́n bá ti kọ orúkọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ orúkọ pẹ̀lú this handsome man, this beautiful man, young man. Please write your name. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ má rush, ẹ jẹ́ ká wọ́n just pass it. Just pass it. Oduduwa nation, Yoruba sovereign nation, Biafra sovereign nation. It's like you people are tired and they expect that second. Biafra sovereign nation. Igbo Kono. Igbo Kono. Igbo Kono. Igbo Kono. Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation. Middle Belt nation. Middle Belt nation. One thing that people don't realize is that even Middle Belt, the kind of suffering they are suffered in the hand of Nigeria past anything else. So they want to go. Everybody wants to go. So we use this moment to recognize our other self-determination group, the Biafra. They are here. Yes, they are here. I can see them. Wave your flag. Wave your flag. Mawa, you want to speak people and address your...
All hail Biafra! All hail Biafra! All hail Biafra! We are appealing to the international community. We are appealing to President Joe Biden. We are appealing to VP Kamala Harris. We are appealing to Nancy Pelosi that the international community should come to our aid. Nigeria is another Rwanda. Do not pretend you don't know what is happening in Nigeria. This is worse than Afghanistan. People are being murdered every day. Can you believe that what I have on now is entitled to summary execution? That I'm wearing a dress reaching Biafra is tantamount to summary execution. Our people are being murdered. Nnamdi Kanu is in the dungeon. The world community is not saying anything. He has been requisitioned from Kenya. They are not saying anything. President Biden, this is on your thoughts. The world will ask of you when you leave office. What did you do in Nigeria? What did you do for the Biafrans? What did you do for the Oduduwas? What did you do for Middle Belt? I trust you because I saw what you did during the apartheid regime. You were for the Black South Africans. Do the same thing now so that history will not forget you. Do the same thing now. President Biden, do something. 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 Kamala Harris, do something. Nancy Pelosi, do something. President Biden, do something. All hail Biafra.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a powerful one. Short and powerful. Thank you. Please. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Sunday Igboho should be free. Finally, totally. Now, we have another speaker, and I'm going to call, please, all our speakers, I know you are speaking from your heart. Make it brief, make it short, make it powerful. It is not how long the message is, but the points that we want to pass across. So to the international war.
I think we need to sing some.
You have some.
Oh yeah.
Great Nigeria. That's a nice one. Thank you, mommy. If I see the reason why we have to start the room. I know here about 6 people now, but I know here. If you want to start Wahala now, what we are saying is if you are speaking your language now, I will be confused. I will think you are abusing me. But you know you can hear us. They don't want us. They don't want us. They just do that. Abracadabra. Amen. Amen, somebody.
Amen.
Amen, somebody.
Amen.
I said, go. Oh yeah, I pay Baba was Samuel Jegede for a brief. Please don't read the message.
I will not. Trust me.
I'm
gonna make sure I summarize all the points I have here so that our people back home can get the message and that they can respond accordingly. My name is Samuel Jagede. I live in the state of Georgia. That's a beautiful state, by the way. Now, we want to look at how education in Yoruba land have been bastardized by the current government, in particular, the government of Mr. Buhari. We have it, we can state without any fear of contradiction that one of the unstated goals of this administration is the destruction of education in Yoruba land. Yoruba people are one of the most educated people on the continent of Africa. As a matter of fact, people will say we are the most educated. But if we are among the first 3, that is still an achievement. We have it on good authority that from 1860s, Yoruba people have been graduating from top-class British universities to show you how we value education. But since the disaster of 1914, people say it's a mistake, but I call it a disaster. What you call amalgamation is actually a disaster. Yes, that was engineered by the British. And now we are saying that as Yoruba people, we are sick and tired of the mess that this government has made of our education. Our education is our pride in Yoruba land. You will recall that in the 50s, one of the founders of Yoruba nation, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, of blessed memory, with our own share of the cocoa money, can you imagine? Chief Awolowo, with other technocrats in Western region, established the famous and the world-renowned University of Ife, that's the most beautiful campus on the African continent by the standard of that time. By the standard of that time. And now, it is not worthy. Everybody listen to this. It is not worthy that the world's most famous surgeon, there is nobody who doesn't know Professor Olootu. The world's most renowned surgeon actually graduated from the famous Obafemi Awolowo University. Can you imagine? And of course, Dr. Badeo, the only doctor who have been listed as someone who is a specialist in 2 key areas of medicine, cardiology and kidney. As far as we know, Dr. Badeo is the only person who is a specialist in those 2 areas of medicine, judging by the American standard. So we are saying, he's also an alumnus, a proud alumnus of Obafemi Awolowo University. We are letting American people know how we value education in Yoruba land. Now let me say this. Are you ready for this, everybody? Yeah. Are you ready for this? Yeah. There is a state in Yoruba land where everyone, listen to me, where everyone is either a professor, is aspiring to become a professor, is working to become a professor, is dreaming to become a professor, is a potential professor, and is born a potential professor. Which state is that? Can anybody? Ekiti State. Ekiti State. That is what education means to us in Yoruba land. That is what education means to us in Yoruba land. And of course, the first neurosurgeon trained in America, the first neurosurgeon trained in America is Olootu Odeku. Olootu Odeku is a Yoruba man. Many of you will recall that Olootu Odeku has a whole library named after him in the in UCH, that the Nigeria's premier medical institution. So a Yoruba man is not only the first neurosurgeon. We are also saying that one of the most famous surgeons in America is a Yoruba man. Now, what has this government done to our education? Listen to me. Everybody knows that university lecturers are on strike in Nigeria. Why are they on strike? Is it because we have an irresponsible set of political leaders in Nigeria? Unfortunately, many of these political leaders are Yorubas. Unfortunately. Now, you will be surprised that many of these Yoruba leaders, they were beneficiaries of the famous free universal primary education of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo in the 50s. Many of them were also beneficiaries of the post-1979 governments of the UPA, Unity Party of Nigeria, in many of those Yoruba states. But shamelessly, they are colluded with other people who don't value education, unfortunately. They are colluded and they have ensured that our education in Yoruba land has been destroyed. And I'm telling them now that by the time the history of Yoruba land comes to be written, history will not be charitable to them. Shame on you, Yoruba leaders who are colluded with Fulani to destroy our education. Shame on all of you. Another reason these politicians are scholars as they are. Why they will not fund our education is because many of them are owners of secondary schools, private secondary schools and universities. So public education is of no importance to them. As far as they are concerned, all other Yorubas can go to hell. Those of their children, of our Yoruba people who attend public schools, they can go to hell. These politicians don't care. Why don't they care? Because they have private colleges and private universities where they and their children can attend. If they don't attend private schools in Nigeria, you know what they do? They send their children abroad. So why would they care about the education of the common people in Yoruba? Why would they care? Why would they care? So before I end this address, I want to ask our young people in Yoruba land a few questions. Just a few questions. Number one, how many of you are sure? If you're a Yoruba person in Nigeria, listen to me and listen good. How many of you are sure that when you graduate from your universities, you are going to get a job 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years after your graduation? How many of you are confident you will get a job? The second question is this. How many of you will be able to settle down and get married 3, 4, 5, 6 years after you graduate from university? Already, you are spending double the time you're supposed to spend in universities as a result of the incessant strikes by the college lecturers. How many of you will be able to settle down? Number 3, this question is very important. How many of you want to raise your children in Nigeria to go? Okay, sincerely, even when you are settled, you are married, can you honestly answer the question that you want to raise your children in Nigeria? How many of you? Do you know how many of our young people in Yoruba land have died in Sahara Desert trying to cross to Libya and route to Europe? We don't even have the statistics, but we know Many of them have died while attempting to cross to Libya. And then, the last question is this. Do we know how many of our young people are still in incarceration? The people are jubilating that, hey, somebody has gotten the ticket. How many of our young people are still in incarceration as a result of the NSAS protest? Our young people protested because of police brutality. But many of them were killed. Many of them are still missing. Many of them are still in incarceration. And then we want to prepare for another election? Hell no. Hell no. Nigeria has been said. Hello? Okay. Nigeria is a country that has several nationalities. We have different languages, different culture, different prejudices, and so on and so forth. If that is the case, why don't we take an appraisal of our current situation and come to the conclusion that we must dissolve Nigeria as a matter of urgency so that each of us can pursue our destiny in our own different ways. I want to end this address by quoting a 19th century British diplomat and foreign secretary, George Canning. George Canning said during the Concert of Europe that that was the time European countries were jostling for influence in Europe. George Canning said, if we cannot stick together, why don't we go our different ways and let God be for all of us? So I'm saying to all Nigerian nationalities that let all of us go by ourselves and let God be for all of us. Thank you.
Onílùwàdà, Ayọ̀wálé o. Odùduwà nation. Onílùwà, ẹ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Nísinmi, àwọn ọ̀tá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò nísinmi, torí àwọn ọ̀tá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò nísinmi, àtìkẹ́rọ ní kẹrọ jẹ́ ò nísinmi, àtìkiri ní kẹrọ jẹ́ ò nísinmi, ẹni àti kiri ní pẹ̀rọ̀ jẹ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn màmá gan wọn mẹ́rọ̀ jẹ ṣé ẹ mọ̀rọ̀ jẹ. That's not blood they used to put at the entrance of the house. You know when people go in and go out in those dollars. Ẹ̀rọ ní pẹ̀rọ̀ jẹ ò ní sinmi kẹ́wí ò ní sinmi àti kẹrọ ní pẹ̀rọ̀ jẹ ò ní. Wọ́n lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí nísinmi, torí àtìkẹ́rù ní pẹ̀rọ jẹ́ nísinmi. Ó tó nílùú mi, àìtó nílùú mi, àdìjà. Má jàjà o, má jàjà. Àníjà o, a ò ní jà. Odùduwà ní bàbá wa o, a ò ní jà o. Ilé làwa ń lọ, àgbẹ̀ kan òrókòrókò tó pàdé ilé. Olóyàkárelé, ilé làwa ń lọ, àgbẹ̀ kan òrókòrókò. Yoruba sovereign nation. Yoruba sovereign nation. Nigeria, show Nigeria, yes. Ẹja máa tẹ̀síwájú. Ilé ló lọ tààràrà. Ilé ló lọ tààràrà. Ìpakúpa ti pé ó ti dópin o, ilé ló lọ tà. Ìpakúpa, ìṣẹ́, ìyà, òrèlé fún ọmọ Yorùbá. Ìṣẹ́ relé o. Ilé ló lọ tààrà. Ìtàkùnsílẹ̀ relé o. Ilé ló lọ tààrà. Ikú àgbọ́jọ́ relé o. Tààrà. Mọ́nìsìn relé o. Ilé ló lọ tààrà. Mọ̀lẹ́rú relé o. Àwọn ọ̀jẹ̀lú ti dára mú ilé lọ. Ọ̀gbà mi jẹ́rìí lé o. Ilé lọ tààrà. Ọlọ́jẹ̀lú relé o. Ilé ni wọ́n lọ tààrà. Iná ni wọ́n lọ tààrà. Iná ni wọ́n lọ tààrà. Iná. Iná ni wọ́n lọ tààrà. Ó máa jẹ́ wọn dúró. Iná ni wọ́n lọ tààrà. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ti dára mú. Sára wa ti yá díẹ̀. Á pe ẹni tó kàn. Màmá wa Mojísọ́lá, where is she? Okay. Màmá, ẹ bá wa, mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ tí ẹ̀ gbé lọ Awúsá báyìí. Àwọn tó dàgbà síbẹ̀ tó ń bí wọn síbẹ̀ báyìí.
Kóso Awúsá. Kóso Awúsá.
You want to hear from your heart.
Awúsá ni kó sọ.
Wọ́n ní kẹ́ ẹ bá a sọ Awúsá sí wọn.
Wọ́n lè gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ nínú àwọn. Wọ́n lè gbọ́.
My name is Mojísọ́lá. I'm a Yoruba, a tribe, and as a nation. I'm here to speak on my story as a living witness of the genocide being displayed in Nigeria and for a very long time in northern parts of Nigeria. This is my story. United States of America, President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris. I want the House and the Congress and everybody, leaders of the whole world, to listen. I'm a living witness of the genocide that has been displayed in Nigeria for a very, very long time, right immediately after the independence. I was born and raised in Kano, in Nigeria, northern part of Nigeria. So I know from experience as a living in northern parts of Nigeria, as a Yoruba, that we went through a lot. I will cite an example. Northerners don't have anything. We are Northerners. And these Fulanese, we don't have anything in common. British came and they did their own, but we, as the indigenous people of Nigeria, Yoruba is the people I'm going to speak about. That is my own people, and those are the people I want to talk about. We don't have language in common. We don't have culture in common. We don't have food. We don't have belief. We don't have anything in common because I grew up in their midst. Genocide has been going on for a very long time. Fulani Hausa has been killing at random from when I was age 9 and I'm 68 years old this year. That was from 1965, soon after Nigerian independence. Fulani Hausa started killing all Southerners in Kano and in all northern parts of Nigeria. They were killing Igbos and they were killing other tribes too. Before the war broke, they almost killed my father because he was hiding Igbos in the ceiling of our house. My father almost got killed that year. They were killing people right in front of us as children, and nobody could do anything about it. And this same northerner, they were calling for split of Nigeria. Aware, they call it then. They want the split of Nigeria then. The so-called northerners who are saying they don't want Nigeria to split now, they have been calling since 1965 that they don't want to stay in Nigeria. But because of the oil they were getting from the south, they don't want to go anymore. But we, Yorubas, we must go. We are even out already, going out of exit. We are on our way out. Fulani Hausa, the random killing of the southerner, even when even the Muslims who are from the south, the Yoruba Muslims, we are not spared of their killing. They will kill Igbos, kill Yorubas, kill the Muslims who are even part of the same religion with them, all in the same, all in the name of calling Allah. When Minister Bunking came to Kano, he came for a crusade. He's late now. He's a German minister. Hausa Fulani went at random. They killed because one of their leaders, Dan Gumi, pronounced that the minister should not allow to have any crusade in Kano. And they went out in the night. They were killing for about 3 days. They continued killing. There's a part of Kano that they put southerners. They call it Sabungeri. And that's the area where my parents, where we live. And anytime they want to unleash on the southerners, they come in the night and they will kill. And a lot of southerners will even have to mount the wall to escape for their life to get out of the north. And this continues until this day. Even in 2011, when this same President Buhari lost an election to President Goodluck Jonathan, he made a pronouncement that blood of human beings and baboons will flow on the streets of Nigeria. And this started a lot of massive killing, riots. Even in the north, they don't spare, even if it's just soup fighting. They will just use that excuse and they take advantage of it and they'll start killing Southerners, killing Yorubas, killing Igbos, killing even the Muslims from the south. And this has been going on for a very long time without any arrest up to today. No arrest. And then now, those children that the politicians, their elite in the north, they were grooming. They refuse when other parts of the country, other regions are educating their children, teaching them trading and teaching them education, giving them all that they need for their future. They refuse, they deny their own young ones. And these are these same people now that have grown and they are beyond their power because they've been using them for political gain in Nigeria. And this northern elite, especially Dangote, the so-called African billionaire, people are saying he's on the Forbes, that he's a billionaire. He has been using them, loading them and shipping them to the south because they couldn't handle the atrocities again because of Boko Haram and the terrorists. And even President Buhari, he called all the Fulanis from West Africa that they should come into Nigeria because Nigeria belongs to them. They should come on this terror on the people, the indigenous people of Nigeria, and they want us out. so that they will wipe everybody out and they will take over. And we Yoruba say no, we will not agree to that. We have to exit. They don't have regard for us. They kill our mothers, they rape our mothers and our sisters, they kill our men, they kill anybody they can find. On the 5th of this month, just last Sunday, these same terrorists, Fulanis, they went into our wall and went into St. Francis Catholic Church and killed over 100 people, killed children, killed men, killed women, killed babies. Babies were holding their mother dead, they too dead. This is the terror we are going through. And Yoruba said they are no more part of this. We can't stand this anymore. Because this race called Yoruba, we are special breed. We don't believe in this type of life. We don't believe in taking other people's blood. We don't believe in kidnapping. We don't believe in killing. We don't believe in all this atrocity, criminality that they are unleashing on us in our region. They are moving them to the south on daily basis because they couldn't handle them anymore in the north. And now the criminality have continued. And that's why we say it's time for our exit to get out of Nigeria. Yoruba is ready to move out of Nigeria peacefully. We want it peaceful. But if they attack us, we will go back at them because we have to defend our land. Our land, we inherited it from our great-great-grandparents, and we will not let go. Either they like it or not, we will not let go. No matter what they want to do, we say no. This is my experience in the north. It's an on and on. If I say I should be saying it, we won't get out of here, but I just say, let me breathe it. This is my story from my experience from the north. It's time Yoruba want to exit Nigeria. United States of America, we need your recognition of Yoruba nation. We are existing majestically. We are not begging anybody. We are a nation. We have purpose. We have destiny. And we are ready to fulfill it. And we are ready to carry all our people along. And we are saying, please recognize us, United Nations, United States of America. We believe in you because you believe in the rights of humanity. And self-determination is a right, it's an international law. And we say it's time for us to exist in Nigeria. Please cooperate with us and support us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ìyá ni wúrà iyebíye tí a kò lè fowó rà. Ìyá ni wúrà iyebíye. Ẹ bá mi fi gbé ìyá mi wọlé o. Àwọn ìyá wa kan lọ́sẹ̀ ṣe tán ìmọ̀lá wa Ògún. Màmá Ògún Sànyà Bọ́lá ẹ máa bọ̀. Ó mọ wá bọ́dún mẹ́ta. Ìyá ni wúrà iyebíye tí a kò lè fowó rà. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ìyá ni wúrà iyebíye tí a kò lè fowó rà. Olóyún wá fóṣù mẹ́sàn-án. Ó wá fọ́dún mẹ́ta. Ìyá ni wúrà iyebíye tí a kò lè fowó rà.
My name is Honorable Bola Ogusoya. I was once a politician in Nigeria in the 1980s, 84, precisely 84 to 94, during the Babangida era. At that time, it was on non-partisan basis. And I was at work, I was in my office. And I said, well, this is an opportunity for me to showcase myself, to show Nigerians that all you need to do is a selfless service to your people. I just returned from the US then. I just returned back to Nigeria from the US. So I came out in my father's ward, which was Ward 1 in Ikorodu. And believe me, it was quite an experience for me. But that 10 years, it was during that 10 years, I made up my mind. I decided, I was seeing how politics is being played at that time. Then I was in the same caucus with this Bola Tinubu and some of them, Sarumi, Agbala Jobi, Oseni, and at that time, Jakonde was the governor. Even Jakonde has to invite me and appeal to me to join their party. And I refused. I said, no. Me, I'm going on non-partisan basis, as the military president has said. And I want to prove to you that apart from party, other people can serve Nigeria selflessly and make Nigeria better. Believe me, it was very tough. It was a tug of war. And it was my experiences that made me to decide that I'm pulling out of politics. I'm going to face my career as a pharmacist. I'm a registered pharmacist in Nigeria as well as here in the US. So I decided that after the end of this term, I'm no longer playing any damn fucking politics anymore. And that was what pushed me, what made me to be interested in Yoruba nation. Because I had that premonition when I was an elected official that what will happen to Nigeria. I have seen that premonition, and believe me, it's happening now. It's really happening now. So I'm here today, this morning, to intimate the United States and the international world about why we, the Yorubas of Southwest of Nigeria, known as the Westerners, has made a firm, unchangeable decision to exit from the contraction called Nigeria. I want to showcase our reasons why we must move out of this jungle. Similarly, to let you see our level of sufferings, tolerance, and perseverance for 100 years. I was born in the era of the baby boomers, 1940 to 1950 in Nigeria. In fact, I was born in 1947, precisely. The Nigeria where every citizen is treated equally with dignity, despite our ethnic diversities. The Nigerian government at that time was regional. That is, the North was ruled by the Northerners, the East by the Easterners, and the West by the Westerners. In this regional government, the citizens dwell peacefully in any part of the country they wish to live without discrimination, tribalism, or ethnic antagonism. The Hausa Fulani, the Igbos, and the Yorubas cohabited peacefully together, benefiting from free education, free good healthcare, good infrastructure, housing, scholarships, and employment at all levels, where you are a high school graduate or an artisan or a degree holder. In 1966, federalism was introduced and practiced up till today. During this period, Fulani started to manipulate the system at the expense of the Igbo and the Yorubas, whereby the Fulani, being the minority, were now ruling the majority of us. They introduced nepotism, corruption, tribalism, ethnic antagonism, ethnic diversities, looting the wealth of Nigeria on an unimaginable large scale. They formed themselves into hateful cabals, controlling all the security agencies and resources, turning Nigeria into their business center. In fact, these resources are generated from the southwest and the southeast of Nigeria. In addition, the Hausa cabals also kills, oppress, and commit heinous and financial crimes. There is hunger, no electricity, serious unemployment, insecurity, dilapidated infrastructure, housing, comatose healthcare and educational systems. In 2021, we decided to bring our plights and suffering to the table along with the other tribes through a national conference, but that effort failed. As you can see, the aforementioned atrocities is what the Yoruba has tolerated for 100 years. It became apparent that we could no longer continue to watch our economic and human resources being wasted, and similarly, watch the degrading effects which has affected us all in every area of our existence. Therefore, when the amalgamation treaty that joined us together to form Nigeria expired in 2014, it serves as a catalyst that quickens the birth of Yoruba nation. This is our story. As our resolution to exit out of Nigeria, to build a Yoruba nation is absolute. The Yoruba nation where all citizens are treated equally with dignity, liberty, freedom without any human rights violation. Our resolution has come to. We humbly seek the support of the United States of America as we are asking and calling for Yoruba recognition now. Hence we say Yoruba recognition now, no going back. God bless America, God bless Yoruba nation, and God bless you all.
Amen.
Soli.
Yoruba sovereign nation. Ó ti fẹ́ gàgàrà nìkan dòdò àti ráìsì. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá sí ní ajẹjẹjẹ. Ó ta sánsán tí mi ní mú ìyá onídodo. Ó bá àwọn Yorùbá dùn. Àwọn ọmọ wa kan wọn ò mọ gbogbo àwọn nǹkan kan yẹn mọ́. A máa pe mommy, what is saying? What are you talking about?
Ó sì dáríjì fún Buhari, ó sì dáríjì fún Buhari.
Ó sì dáríjì fẹ́ni tó bá jalè. Ó sì dáríjì fẹ́ni tó bá jalè. Ó sì dáríjì fẹ́ni tó bá jalè. Àti kó lọ àkókò so. Àṣẹ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú. Everyone watching from all over the media platform, we appreciate you. Please kindly continue to share and like the broadcast. And the next on the program is a message from the heart of Baba Frank Olaleye. Àwọn bàbá wa ìṣẹ̀ṣe nìyẹn o. Ẹ bá wa pàtẹ́wọ́ fún bàbá. Ẹ bá wa ṣe kúkú gbòǹgbò.
Ayọ̀.
We thank everybody, but this message is going to be straight for all the kings in Nigeria. Ẹ̀rù bọ́mọ balógun. Ẹ̀rù bọ́mọ balógun bẹ̀rù bàbá yìí ẹ̀rí o. Thank you very much. All the speakers we have today have touched a lot of important things. I'm going to try and summarize some of it. We've talked about 1914 amalgamation, which lasted for 100 years. Just like the land decree here, anytime anybody buy a land, the ownership of a land is always for 100 years. The reason why some people are not evicted by government after 100 years is because the original contractors will have died. As a result of that, the ownership has been automatically transferred. So that's one. Nigeria, especially the Yoruba, have been in existence since 11th century. We currently stand at 55 million people. That's according to population of 2015. Right now, the Yoruba nation probably stands over 62 million. Prior to that, we've had the kingship ruling us from 7 to 9 AD. 7 to 9 AD, that is before Christ. This is how the democracy have taken root in the Yoruba land. And we have seriously been law-abiding, obedient, follow the rules, and very, very patient. However, a repeat of this situation came in 1804 through Uthman Fodio that still want us to take our land. Yet, the kings then stood up, did what they're supposed to do, and as a result, we prevailed. This history is repeating itself. We are seeing a rerun history now. The first thing I would like to do here is to touch briefly on what put us together through the kings. I would like to call on Oba Akran of Badagry, which is our boundary between Yoruba nation and the Homi. I also would like to call on Akiolu of Lagos, Alaketu of Ketu, Olumoshin of Ayeleru. I would like to move to Ogun State to call on Awujale, Sikiru Adetono. It's time to rise up. To also call on Akarigo, the Remo, Meta de Lugun, and to call the Odemo of Ishara, and Alake of Ega, and Olu of Ilaro, of Baloma Shuajogun. I moved to Ibadan, calling Olubadan, which is also a barrister. Asauja of Oshogo, Shawu of Ogbomoso, and also moved to Ekiti, where I would like to call on Ajero of Ijero Kingdom. Ewi of Ado, Deji of Akure, and Oni of Ife. Let me repeat, Oni of Ife. Nibi Ojumo Timowa, Ojaja is second. We will repeat that. Moving again to Ondo State, the Oshima way of Ondo, the Jagun of Iloluji, the Olugbo of Igbo about Frederick, that it is time for all the four corners of Yoruba nation to stand up and do what we do best. Yoruba, we are very patient, we are very kind, but they are taking our gentility and our humility as a sign of weakness. Enough is enough. The Yoruba fought the longest civil war in the whole human history. The Kiriji War, last time for 16 years, 1873 to 1892. The Kiriji War, check the history. We can be patient, but when we are pushed to the wall, which is what is happening now, they'll be killing us inside the churches, they'll be killing us inside the mosque, they'll be coming to our house, they'll be shelling us. We're calling on President Biden, Kamala Harris. Every time you send people to Nigeria, please follow the covert operation. You have the resources. You have the drone. You know what we're talking about. It is time now we're calling on you to do the needful before we are all killed. As a result of this, the first time this Fulani tried it, we have people like Ogedengbe, we have Nishabi, we have Fabumi of Okemesi. All these warriors stood up. We are now hearing that these Fulani are surrounded us in the bush. Who live in the bush? Animals. Who live in the bush? What do we do to the animals? You know what? When the time comes to push, we know what to do. One tí ewu bá jáde lọ́sàn òkété, ó máa ń forí légbó ni. Àwa la ni Ṣàngó, àwa la ni Ọya. Ẹ jẹ́ kí légbó ná mọ́ wọn lára. Ẹ jẹ́ kí igi bá igi sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ewé bá ewé sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀yin ọba aládé, Ọ̀jàjà the second. Ọ̀jàjà the first came in 1874. Bàbá ọba, a pè àwọn Ládìgbòlú, a pè Odùduwà, a pè Ọbàtálá, a pè Ọbalùfọ̀n, a pè Ọ̀rànmíyàn, wọ́n ságun, wọ́n ságun, wọ́n ságun. Ẹ̀rù bá ń bà yín kí ẹ wí o, ẹ̀rù gbọ́mọ balógun. Ẹ̀rù bá ń bà yín kí ẹ wí o, ẹ̀rù gbọ́mọ balógun. Now I would like to say something. The position of Obas, a position of powers, but it's not a position of showmanship. Oh, yes. We have some Obas, Tondale, Ila Dayin. And me, I want to Tondale, Ila Dayin. Òtútù wa bínú sí ìran ẹlẹ́dẹ̀, ìran lóye. Tẹ́ ẹ bá lè dúró kẹ́ jagun fún wa, ìlà fi ń bora. Bílíọ̀nù lágbára àwọn tó nílé ayé. Ọ̀ọ́ni òrìṣà, ọ̀ọ́ni òrìṣà. Òrìṣà ayé wà lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Pé wọ́n kàn jẹ́ ẹ̀. Pé wọ́n kàn jẹ́ ẹ̀. Aláké ayé wà lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Pé wọ́n kàn jẹ́ ẹ̀. Pé wọ́n kàn jẹ́ ẹ̀. Ọ̀ṣìlẹ̀. Pé wọ́n kàn jẹ́ ẹ̀. Síkírù. Síkírù. Sùúrù ló gbà. Ṣùgbọ́n tí sùúrù bá tán kí ló kù? Wọ́n ti léwa o, ẹ jẹ́ ká bojú wẹ̀yìn. Ọdẹ mọ́ ogun Òkòyírì, ẹ̀rù bọ́bà, ẹ jáde, ẹ jáde. Ajérò, a pè yín, ẹ jẹ́ wa. Wọ́n ní tàbá torí aládé, a jẹ́ wa. Ọ̀rọ̀ yàn, a tẹ̀wọ̀rọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ wa. Àmọ́ ibi tó wà, kíní yóò ń ṣe tuntun, eléyìí yóò ń ṣe tuntun, ṣùgbọ́n bọ́lá ṣé ká máa ságun ni, ṣé ká máa ságun ni Ṣọ̀ún, Olóṣogbo, kí ló dé, tó ata ọjà, a mọ̀ pé máa ń ní sùúrù, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má jẹ́ kán pa wá tán. Akírun, Ìlá Ọ̀ràngún, ẹ mọ nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe, Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́. Àpè yín síjà, àpè yín síkú. À ń rán yín létí sìn pé ọ̀nà ti tó, àsìkò ti tó. Ẹ má máa jẹ́ kán dú hùhùhùhù mọ́ wa. Àwọn kan láwọn ń gbé inú igbó, kí náà ṣe inú igbó. Politicians are only temporaries. They stay for 4 years. At most, they stay for 8 years. Kingship is a dynasty. Tọ́ba kan bá kú, ìmí kì í jẹ. Ọba mẹ́wàá, ìgbà mẹ́wàá. Ọọ̀ni, mo pè ọ ní Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, mo pè ọ ní Láfògídó, mo pè ẹ ní Ọ̀túnwá, Mo pè ní kejì. Odùduwà náà níní. A pè yín lónìí, ẹ jẹ́ wa. Ibikíbi tewé bá ń fẹ́, tí atẹ́gùn bá ń fẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ kó kàn wọ́n àlejò yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ kó kàn wọ́n. Ìjà Yorùbá ń ṣe jà bọ̀. Ẹ jí ẹ má sùn. Ẹ má sùn. À ń pè yín sìn. À ń rán yín létí. Ẹ mọ nǹkan tẹ́ máa ṣe. Ewé á jẹ́ o, lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin ìyá mi. Ewé á jẹ́ o. Àìjẹ́ ewé ò ní ṣe tiwa o. Gbogbo nǹkan tí àwọn Fúlàní fẹ́ ṣe, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé ọmọ ọkọ ni wá. Ẹ̀rù bá ń bà yín kí ẹ wí o. Ẹ̀rù bá ń bà yín kí ẹ wí o. Ẹ̀rù bá ń bà lókun. Now the last statement I'm going to make. There was a time when we have Ogunmola of Ibadan. We have Oluyole. Well, in Apakuta, we also have Kurumi. We have Shodeke. Akarigo, we have Kere. We have Kere Akarigo. Ijebu, we have Anofuwokon. And there was a leader, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. For 6 years that he held a government. That's the history majority of us have been mentioned. We have free education. We have road. We have the first television station in Africa. And we have the first Nobel laureate in Yoruba, Professor Wale Soyinka. We are law-abiding. But these people come to destroy us. They remove history from our education. They completely destroyed education. When you take education out of people, what else is left? It's nonsense. So that is why we're calling the United States government to come to our help, to listen to us. Most of us have been here 40 years, 35 years. We are happy to be here. We follow the rules of law. We go home, we see our family. Now, anytime we go now, we'll be killed. A lot of people are being killed innocently. Going to people's houses, killing them. Throw mustard inside the churches. Please, United States government, come to our aid. Enough of the time of thinking of saying you don't know. We know you knew. We know you know. We are asking you, and now you know that we know you know. Please help us. Thank you very much.
Onílù mi dà, ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún bàbá yẹn. Ṣé rí ìgbà tí bàbá yẹn when he was saying ọ̀ràn míyàn. Ọ̀ràn míyàn o. Ó pe àwọn bàbá ńlá wa, Ọbàtálá o. Yé mọ́já o. Yes. Yorùbá ti dúró. Àbí kí ni bẹ? Onílù kí ni bẹ nínú igbó? Torí náà, ọmọ Oòduà dìde, wọ́n sì kó ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Àwọn ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo àdúrà. Ẹ dìde dìde ọmọ Oòduà dìde yé bẹ̀rù mọ́, wọ́n sì kó ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Ògo àdúrà. Ọkàn ẹlòmíì ò mọ̀ pé òun ìmọ́lẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn tó bá jẹ́ ìmọ́lẹ̀, má jókòó sí ti ráì. Kò wá ṣakọ pé ìmọ́lẹ̀ kò fi hàn. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Èmi ni ìmọ́lẹ̀. Èmi ni ìmọ́lẹ̀. Àròjọ́ mú ti olókùn ó ga. Bọ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ìta ṣe lé ní àṣẹ ti gùn. Atẹ́gùn tí Ọlọ́run dá ó ti gbé lọ sílé àṣẹ. Gbogbo ohun tó ń jáde lónìí, àwọn tó tẹ̀lé wa dó, wọ́n sọ di agbára. Wọ́n dẹ̀ fìdí rẹ̀ kalẹ̀. Bá a ṣe fìdí Olúmọ kalẹ̀. Tí ò sẹ́ni tó lè yí. Orílẹ̀-èdè Odùduwà ti dúró. Bàbá Bánjí Akíntóyè, ẹ ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún bàbá. Bàbá Bánjí Akíntóyè, odidi alànà, bàbá alànà. Mo ní ẹ ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún bàbá. Bàbá, tí bàbá bá wà, bàbá tún wà ní àwọn òní bàbá torí bàbá wo tí kù ú sí i. Ó ṣà Ìgbòho fúnra ẹ̀ ẹkùn ọkọ ẹ̀yin lẹ pè bẹ́ẹ̀ ọkọ gbogbo àwọn dáhùn ẹ ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún bàbá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jọmọ kan ó yẹ kí wọ́n pè nígbà àwọn tó bá ń gbé ojú wọn mẹ́ síta ó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ó yẹ kí ẹ gbòòsà fún wọn. Gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá world media tí wọ́n ń gbóhùn sáfẹ́fẹ́ ní káàkiri àgbáyé ẹ ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún wọn. Bàbá kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn náwó lẹ́yìn yẹn wọ́n ṣe gbòòsà. Ẹ bá mi ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún bàbá yẹn. A ní màmá kan. Òfin wá ṣeré. Ojoojúmọ́ ló ń jáde. Ẹ wá ṣe sùúrù sómi ọ̀la kankan ní ẹ̀ má bínú. Ohun tó bá yẹ ká ṣe ó yẹ ká ṣe bó ṣe yẹ ká ṣe. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ wípé àwọn kan máa expect pé wọ́n ní protest orí wọn ti pa àwọn èèyàn àti sunkún. Màmá ẹ̀ wá sọ pé ní ìlú tá a gbé wá yìí àwa ṣòwò wà ní àfi ń sọ̀rọ̀ àfi ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ agbára àṣẹ ń bẹ nínú ìlú wọn. Bàbá wa ní a ní àwọn kan tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn òfin ipò tán ní bojú kan sá lọ ó yẹ ká gbòòsà fún wọn. A ní màmá kan. Màmá. Àwọn ilé ọ̀ṣọ́ nídìí ìyàtọ̀ ń dójú olóṣèlú kiri. Àwọn nídìí ìbàjẹ́. Kò jẹ́ bí wá ṣeré. Ọ̀sán mẹ́ta fún àwa wa. Ẹni sùúrù ara yìí ti ń gbọ̀n jù. Màmá wa Onítìrí Modúpẹ́ Abíọ́lá gbòòsà. Ṣé ẹni obìnrin ló láyé o? Ẹni bá ní kò sí wa ẹ wò ó. Ẹ kàn pa í ni. Màmá lẹ rí yẹn o. Màmá lẹ rí yẹn o. Màmá lẹ rí yẹn. Ẹ dúró. Ẹ má dá wàhálà lẹ́ o. Ẹ má dá wàhálà lẹ́ o. Àwọn obìnrin Oòduà àgbáyé ẹ bá mi ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún wọn. Gbòòsà. Àwọn yèyé. Bàbá wà ń bí. Yoruba sovereign nation. Yoruba sovereign nation. Recognition nìkan mo fẹ́ máa gbọ́ ìfẹ́ máa fàgùn. Recognition now. Yoruba sovereign nation. Recognition now. Yoruba sovereign nation. Yoruba sovereign nation. Last kò sàkí má ṣojú ṣáájú àwọn bàbá wa náà wà gbogbo bàbá Oòduà àgbáyé àti gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nation tó ń dúró tán. Ẹ ṣe gbòòsà lẹ́tà fúnra yín o. Gbòòsà. Now I call on one of our bàbá here. Where is bàbá o? Dókítà ni wọ́n. Dr. Pásọ Dáramọ́lá. Ní ṣókí ẹ bá wa ṣe o.
Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation. Mo fẹ́ ká tẹ́tí ká gbọ́ mi dáradára. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ní Nàìjíríà tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan tó ń pè ní freedom of speech. Kò dẹ̀ sí freedom of expression fún àwọn kan. Ìwọ tí o bá ti ń ṣe ọmọ Fúlàní, tí o kì í ṣe bòròró, o ò ní freedom of expression. If you are not from the northern part of the country, that is, you are not a Fulani or Bororos, you have no freedom of speech, you have no freedom of expression. If you dare say what is not right in their own hearing, you will be caught, you may be killed, or even jailed. So this is what has been going on majorly in Yoruba land. A lot of our people are being killed. As I'm standing here on May 21st, to prove that there is no freedom of speech, my brother-in-law went to farm because somebody called him that somebody are mining illegally on his farm. So on getting there, the Fulani people gunned him down. That was May 21st of this year. So, and so many people like that have been killed. So I know that the United States of America, you believe so much in freedom of speech. You believe so much in human rights. There is nothing like human rights. There is nothing like freedom of speech. So we are beckoning on you. We are asking you to help us in whatever capacity you can help us. And I believe strongly that you can do it because you are already doing it for Ukraine. You did it for Afghanistan. And you did it for so many other nations. So Yoruba nation should not be exceptional. So please and please, President Joe Biden and the cabinet, see to our situation. If you don't want every one of us to be killed, we have family back home and they are living in fear. Help us and the Lord will bless you.
And we are going to the next one. Mo fẹ́ pe ẹni tó kàn báyìí. Orúkọ tí wọ́n ní Àrólé Aníkìnìún.
I joined OPC in 1996. The slogans have been down on our empire. But
àwọn olóṣèlú ti hijack ọ́fíìsì Ọlọ́run á gbà fún wa. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin bàbá mi àtẹ̀yin ìyá mi àti ẹ̀yin tí a jọ jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ àtẹ̀yin tí mo jù lọ. Mo dúpẹ́ o pé àwa kan dìde. Nǹkan tá a ṣe yìí gangan ni àwa tí a dúró tán. Mo ṣe pé ká bọ́ sórí platform WhatsApp ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀pẹ rẹ̀. Ó di pé kan tún dáwó, wọn á ní àpò owó ibo ni owó lọ, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń pa àwọn èèyàn. Ẹ̀yin ìyá mi tẹ wá bí gbogbo àní fi ojú sunkún ọmọ o. Ṣẹ́rí àwọn àdúrà kan wà kò ní ìdìkàkúnlẹ̀ ká tó gbà. Òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn Fúlàní ṣe lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Àwa ò kó ogun bọ̀ tó ogun ti dé. Mo dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọlọ́dẹ wa nígbà tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀wọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n dúró tán. Mi ní sọ́tọ̀ ni obìnrin òun gbọ́gbóró, but ọ̀wọ̀ a máa jẹ́ fún wọn. Ṣé rí gbogbo wa a ní láti ránṣẹ́ sílé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pe àwọn èèyàn wa kí wọ́n lajú. Ogun ti dé. Ogun eléyìí ò ṣe pé ogun yìí tá a fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. A fi ogun gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí a kó pọ̀. Ogun wípé Haúsá fẹ́ lé wa kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ wa, ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Fúlàní ìkankan náà ni wọ́n sìn. So àwọn tó rán wọn lọ́wọ́ ní gbogbo bẹ̀yẹn. Ìsinyìí ẹ jẹ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n bá nílò nílé. Ẹ jẹ́ àpè wọ́n lé. Tí wọ́n bá ti ń sùn tẹ́lẹ̀ tó ń fojú méjèèjì sùn. Wọ́n la gbogbo ojú ni o. Ní on the 6th ní mo di Mọ̀sán ní Ìjẹ̀bú. Ní ìdájí around 4 a.m. àwọn Fúlàní wọ ìlú. Ọlọ́run ló ní pé àwọn tó ń lọ oko ọdẹ lálẹ́ wọ́n ń bọ̀ padà, wọ́n tètè rí wọn. Wọ́n wà káàkiri àmọ́ tìbọn lọ́kó wọlé o. Àmọ́ nǹkan tó bá tún ṣẹlẹ̀ ń jọ yẹn. Bọ̀ nísìnyí ẹ má jẹ́ ká sùn àsùnpara. Ẹ jẹ́ àpè àwọn àdúgbò wa, àwọn ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ṣẹ́rí ẹgbẹ́ tí à ń ṣe kò sí bí ẹgbẹ́ wa ṣe fẹ́ kárí gbogbo ìlú. But àwa ìlú ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ láti wá. Abúlé ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ láti wá. A mọ̀ wọn lórí kankan nílùú wa. Ẹ jẹ́ àpè. Ibi tí a kọ́lé sí náà, ẹ jẹ́ àpè àwọn CDA. Ó ti tó àsìkò tí a gbọ́dọ̀ dìde, a gbọ́dọ̀ jàjàyè. Ilẹ̀ ìlérí tá à ń wò yìí, ànípẹ́ débẹ̀ gbogbo àlàmà. Ní pípẹ̀tàn fún àwọn ọmọ wa pé nígbà tí àwọn ìyá yín wà wọ́n jáde rálì l'Amẹ́ríkà tí wọ́n ò ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mo dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ bẹ gbogbo àwọn tó ń wò wá náà tí a bá ti pè àpọ̀jù yìí lọ ní DC tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ àwa DC nìkan tó yẹ ká dìde. Bàbá àtàwa láti Maryland kò yẹ kí bí gbà wá. Ẹ jẹ́ a dìde, ẹ fọ̀ wọ́n léṣèlú sílẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ sọ kọ́kọ́ ní live program láàárọ̀ yìí, mo dẹ̀ tún máa tún sọ. Àwọn ìyá wa kan, bàbá wa kan tó ní Ọlọ́run máa ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, Ọlọ́run sọ wípé kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ Ọlọ́run ti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, Ọlọ́run sọ wípé ẹ jẹ́ kán tọ́jú ẹ̀. Kán sọ fún Ọlọ́run sì ní pé àwọn tí Ọlọ́run máa lò tí a máa fi gba kínní yìí ní kíákíá. Ṣẹ́rí prophecies kan olówó lórí social media, voice mail, wọ́n ti pààyàn, wọ́n máa pa wá, wọ́n máa pa á tán, ogun ti dé o. Let's forget about it. Ẹni tó bá rí prophecy tó bá ní answer fún fake ni. So nísìnyí ẹ jẹ́ ẹ bá wa sọ fún ọ̀hún tó ní pé Olúwa sọ wípé ẹni báyìí bí ilẹ̀ máa gbà. Àdé àwọn tí agbára ìlú wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ gangan tó ń fi owó tó kó jẹ fi ìdàtọ́ lọ́hún kó sí wọn nú kó yí wọn padà. Ẹ wo kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́hún ò lè lò. Ó má di ìgbà lọ fi ọwọ́ ara wa ṣera wa. Kò sí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run ò lè lò. Bọ̀ ẹni tọ́lọ́run máa lò yẹn kíbi bá ti wá. Ọlọ́run yí wọn kó kó sí wọn nú. Kí n tó lákòótán àwọn ìyá wa ní fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run. Tí a bá ti ṣe èpè fún àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀, wọ́n ní ìka tó bá ṣẹ̀ ló máa ń gé. ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹ má máa ṣe èpè kí pé àtọmọ àti ìrandíran wọn. Ṣé rí àwọn èpè kan wà tó jẹ́ pé àwa yìí orí mọ́ǹtè la ti ń jà. Àyè gbàdúrà. Àwọn ọmọ tó ì tí ì bí láti ṣépè fún. Tí wọ́n bá bí tọ́mọ tí yín náà bá dàgbà wọ́n máa fẹ́ra wọn. Ẹ wá máa gbàdúrà. Ègún látòrí ègún kan. Ṣé rí àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò mọ nǹkan kan? Àwọn òbí yìí ní problem. Àlùmọ̀rú fọ̀dá wọn máa sọ níta ni wọ́n máa tẹ ọwọ́ bọ ìwò díẹ̀ tó nínú. Ìgbà táwọn alẹ́kọ̀ọ́sẹ́ tó ṣe tàṣà èmi ṣe bí pẹ̀lú gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ dáadáa. Oníkálùkù dẹ̀ mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń rí ń bẹ̀. Bọ̀ ìgbà tó lọ́wọ́ dẹ̀ ti yí wa padà. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa ṣépè fún ìran tí ò tí ì wà. Tó máa di pé èpè máa jà. Ẹni tó bá ti ṣépè. Àrólé ìwọ ló dalẹ̀ Yorùbá nǹkan báyìí ló máa jẹ́ fún ẹ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, tọ́tẹ̀ jẹ́ ká mú ẹnu mọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ má máa jẹ́ ká máa sọ yí pé inú bíbélì ní ìrankíran ìran yẹn yìí ń jà àyíwò bá ṣe fẹ́ bọ́nú ẹ̀. Ẹ máa wọn màmá mi ó yẹ kó ti jókòó lẹ́sìn àyíwọ́n yìí ṣe caregiver àti amúwánú kọ́ọ̀sì caregiver àwọn ọmọ pàdé ìyá kan 75 years ó wá ṣe CMT CMT ìyá yẹn ó ṣẹ̀ wá ń ṣe exam ó fẹ́ lọ máa tọ́jú arúgbó. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí àdúrà wa ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀. Odò àgbè wa o kò ní gbọ̀dálẹ̀ ẹ ṣe.
Àtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn. Àwọn ni wọ́n fún wa ní message to our people, our own people. Message from Baba Arori Adekunle. All the daughters and sons of the Yoruba land. Now, I want to call one of our beautiful flower, beautiful Ogbojola. Àwọn ọmọ wa. Ogbo èmi, Ogbo ẹ̀la. Ogbo ọjọ́ gbogbo. Torí kò ṣe ọjọ́ ọ̀la nìkan. Kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo ògbó wọn báyìí. I want to call upon our beautiful daughter, Esther. Where is she? Ó ní láti sá eré láti ilé ìwé ẹ̀. Òun náà wá ṣe ojúṣe tiẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ń padà lọ sí school. So let's give her the opportunity to speak her mind to the United States of America and the government. Ẹ bá wa pàtẹ́wọ́ fún o. Oríwo náà máa kó fáwọn ọmọ. Ọmọ òwe pẹ́ dàgbà, ọmọ òwe pẹ́. Do you know the song? Kékeré gbogbo ló máa kọ. Ọmọ òwe kékeré ó yá dá fún mi náà. Ọmọ òwe pẹ́ dàgbà. Ọmọ òwe pẹ́ dàgbà. Dàgbà kékeré jòjò ló máa bọ́ ọmọ mi. Ọmọ òwe. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me the privilege to speak on behalf of the Yoruba nation about a cause that is important to us all, not just as a tribe, but also as a nation. Freedom, what does it mean? According to Merriam-Webster, it is the quality or state of being free with the absence of constraint in choice or action. There are plenty of other definitions ranging from the power or right to speak or think as you would want without hindrance or restraint, to the state of being imprisoned or enslaved, of not being imprisoned or enslaved, and familiarity or openness in speech or behavior. However, when associated with liberty and autonomy, it means giving oneself their own laws and with having the rights and the civil liberties to which to exercise them without undue interference by the state. Today, I would like to talk about the freedom of speech and expression and what it means to be. The 1999 Constitution guarantees the right of every Nigerian
to freedom of speech and expression. Section 39.1 states that every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including holding opinions and receiving and imparting information without interference. Despite this constitutional protection, the Nigerian media was controlled by the government throughout much of its history. Even to this day, we saw the infringement on October 8, 2020, with the 2-week-long End SARS movement, one that was forced due to police brutality and harassment and extortion in Nigeria. By the very constitution that our country is governed by, any Nigerian, regardless of their affiliations and tribe, has the right to speak up and speak out through protest about the issues that ran rampant in their country and their tribes. As we all know, that was not the case. A video that went viral of a man allegedly being killed by the notorious Special Anti-Robbery Squad was a catalyst to demonstrations and protests that were led predominantly by young Nigerians and Yoruba people, alongside many celebrities and activists from different cities. On the night of the 20th of October 2020 at about 6:50 p.m., members of the Nigerian army opened fire on unarmed NSARS protesters at Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos State, Nigeria. Amnesty International stated that at least 12 protesters were killed and dozens were left injured during the shooting. At least 56 people died across the country during the protest. While this was a tragic and unforgettable mark in our country's history, we couldn't forget what came after as a result of the bravery and sacrifice of these people. The Nigerian economy suffered a huge loss of billions of naira, approximately 700 billion, resulting from the protest, with major roads blocked and economic activities brought to a halt. Following the protest on October 22nd, 2020, Nigeria dissolved the special police force that was at the center of protest against the brutality. The government said a special presidential directive had ordered the immediate dissolution of the squad. Secondly, another example of standing strong in the face of adversity is the case of Chief Sunday Adeyemo Adeyemi, also known as Chief Sunday Igboho. Following the brutalities in the form of killings, rapings, destruction of properties by some notorious Fulani herdsmen, and the lack of support from the Nigerian government, Chief Sunday Igboho stood up proudly for this, despite the dangers of doing so. Imagine being afraid to stand up and speak out against atrocities being committed against your people in a country you've belonged to your whole life. He made it clear that if the herdsmen would not live in peace in Yoruba land, then they must leave. He led the people in protest against the loss of human life, sexual harassment of human life, acquiring of weapons and arms, reduction of quality of social relationships, reduction of social support, and high cases of rape perpetuated by these herdsmen. As we all know, no good deed goes unpunished. Because of his stance, Chief Sunday Igboho became a target. The Nigerian government planned an ambush at his residence that left 2 men dead at his house. His house and car were destroyed, and there was also an attempt on his life. However, he succeeded in escaping to Benin Republic. He would have been kidnapped and killed if the Benin Republic did not refuse to extradite him. Chief Sunday Igboho's bravery lights a match of courage to us all to always stand up and speak out for what we believe in, despite who tried to stop us. I would like to leave you all with this charge. There is a lesson to be learned in the examples that I just mentioned. Although there was great and fatal pushback from the governing forces in Nigeria, the people and activists were still able to achieve their goals, not only to dismantle the special police force designed to help the citizens that ended up taking laws into their own hands, and to lead the people in fighting back against a group of people that perpetuate violence against them, also known as the Fulani herdsmen, but also to bring worldwide awareness to the brutality that was being endured by young Nigerian citizens, and particularly by the Yoruba people. SARS and the Nigerian government tried to take away the voices of the citizens that they were tasked to protect. They tried to take away their freedom, not only of speech and expression, but also their lives. While they succeeded in the latter plenty times, they failed greatly in silencing their voices. Many paid with their lives, and people showed resilience as they came together to lead and achieve a common goal. The road may be long and it may be hard, but the dream and a goal of a thriving Yoruba nation free of censorship and insurgency is not impossible. Thank you all for lending me your ears and listening with open minds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a beautiful one from Esther. Àwọn ọmọ wa ikú ò ní pa wọ́n mọ́ wa lójú o. Gbogbo àwọn tí àwọn dáràndáràn kan ti fi ọmọ pa wọ́n lẹ́kún. A máa dúró ìṣẹ́jú kan fún gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìjàmbá ní orílẹ̀-èdè location 9. Onírúurú látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn dáràndáràn, àwọn Nàìjíríà. A fẹ́ lọ nínú ìṣẹ́jú kan ẹ jọ̀ọ́, everybody let's show the kind of respect to them. Ní ìṣẹ́jú kan. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti pàdánù ẹ̀mí wọn nínú pé ìjọba ìkà la wà lábẹ́. May their souls rest in perfect peace. May their souls demand vengeance over all their killers. Àwọn ilẹ̀ tó gbẹnu tó lanu láti gba ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ tó lanu láti gba ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn aláìṣẹ̀. Torí wọn ò yẹ fún ikú kí ilẹ̀ yẹn kó béèrè ìdájọ́ lórí gbogbo ẹni tó pa wọ́n. Àṣẹ ti mú. A ti ń parí lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún pe ìkan lára àwọn bàbá wa tí ọmọ bá ní ìlú. Best Prince Adédoyin, where are you? Okay. Kò tí ẹ ṣe tí ìfìlà adé tí ajá. Bàbá ń bẹ láàfin, bàbá ń bẹ láàfin, ọmọ bá ń bẹ láàfin. Ẹ máa bọ̀. Adédoyin ń bẹ láàfin rẹ̀, ó ń bẹ láàfin. Báwo ètò ìkóṣà?
Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation. I really commend the organization and then the committee that summoned this mega rally. I really commend them. May God help them in Jesus' name. As we are waiting for United Nations for the recognition of Yoruba nation, the alliance country would like to notify them what is going on in Nigeria, Cuba, Australia, a country like Brazil, and Israel. We want to call the attention of the whole world to see the uncontrolled hunger and starvation due to the high level of unemployment in Yoruba land. It is saddening on unexplained level. All our agro-allied industries that are meant to employ our youth are no more in existence. The money generated from Yoruba land, taxpayer, that's supposed to use to create jobs are evenly shared by politicians, and all our youth are neglected. It is obvious that when the third world country
Hey, Joe, unmute, please. Unmute. We can't hear you. Go here, unmute. Can you unmute? Okay. Can you do that? Okay. I can see there's a resemblance. Bonyo. You are still muted. You got to unmute. We can't hear a thing. We can't hear a thing. You got to unmute. That's better now.
They work with the federal government. They are not representing us. Now we say we don't want them also because they fail their possibilities. They fail their position. The lack of the knowledge. The lack of what is going on. The lack of the integrity. We don't want them anymore. What we want now is our land. To save our land.
Mo bóyá network ni o, but kíní ọ̀hún ṣe bákan ẹ ṣáà mú sùúrù, ẹ má bínú. Ṣé rí pé mo sọ pé ó lè jẹ́ pé ó mẹ́hẹ, wọ́n máa padà wá, wọ́n á gbìyànjú àti padà wá, kò ṣe nǹkan kan, tá máa tún padà wá, tá máa lè padà wá. Wọ́n ti ṣe wákàtí méjì kan mélòó kan lórí ètò yìí, kò ṣe nǹkan kan, tó bá ṣe é ṣe, tó bá yẹ pé ó mẹ́hẹ ń sìn, tún padà wá, kò ṣe nǹkan kan. Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ kí a mú dání, àwọn kan ti sọ ìmọ̀sán ní Ìjẹ̀bú Òde, ìmọ̀sán, IMO SAN mo fẹ́ sọ àwọn abidi wa lédè wa, àwọn màá gbìyànjú, màá kọ síbi kan, màá lè ṣàlàyé ẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ gbìyànjú ká máa sọ èdè wa pátápátá látòkè délẹ̀, torí ibi tá wà ń sìn, a fẹ́ kí kíní yìí kó ká sọ jí pátápátá ní kọ̀ọ̀kan wa, nítorí ó dẹ̀ máa gbé wa délẹ̀ lérí nìyẹn. Tá bá ti ń sọ èdè yẹn, tá bá ti ń sọ báyìí, ṣe a ti ń padà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìbílẹ̀ wa àtàwọn alálẹ̀ wa, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa gbé wa lẹ́yìn, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa sọ wá jí, torí a lè dáṣe kínní, kò ṣeé dáṣe, igi kan ò dáṣe gbó, tó bí òwe wájẹ yẹn gbà. Ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ wà là ń sọ yìí, a ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tá wà báyìí, àwọn kan ń sọ lè ní ẹgbọ́ tí wọ́n ń sọ pé ní Banana Island, pé púpọ̀ nú àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn bòròró yìí náà ni, bẹ́ẹ̀ ilẹ̀ wa ni o. Ẹ rí pé nǹkan ń bẹ, torí náà ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú láàrin ara wa ká ṣe òbò. Ẹ má dúró pé bóyá owó kan, ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ kíní kan, ṣe rí wọ́n ń kó àwọn nǹkan ọ̀gùn yẹn wọ́n gbé wọlé, tó ń gbé wọlé yẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ ń lo mọ́tò arákùnrin kan tó fẹ́ dá ilé, tó fẹ́ ṣe ilé, tó máa fi máa ṣe epo, tó máa fi máa wà jáde kúrò nínú ilẹ̀ wa. Ọkọ̀ yẹn ni kẹ́ kọjú sí. Tẹ́lọ̀ mi yẹn, tẹ́ bá ti rí ọkọ̀ yẹn tó bá ti ń lọ, ìkọ́nú méjì ló máa jẹ́, nínú kó máa kó àwọn tó fẹ́ wá, àwọn ọkùnrin tó fẹ́ wá, àwọn tó máa lò láti fà ṣe wá ń jàǹbá nínú ilẹ̀ wa, àbí nǹkan irinṣẹ́. Méjèèjì yẹn wọn ò gbọdọ̀ kúrò nílẹ̀ wa. Tẹ́ bá ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀, tẹ́lọ̀ mi yẹn, wọn gbọ́dọ̀ kúrò. Eléyìí kì í sọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́pàá, kì í sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn oníkàkí, ọ̀rọ̀ àwa ara wa lélẹ́yìí, sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn, ọ̀rọ̀ àwa ara wa lélẹ́yìí. Torí náà tẹ́ bá ń dúró pé kò sí nǹkan kan, ó ń bẹ púpọ̀, ń bẹ owó wa ló ń lò, ẹjọ́ yé yín o. Ṣó ti yé yín tí mò ń sọ? Jẹ́ ká fi lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, ó ti tán, ó ti yé yín, mo rò pé ó ti yé wa bí tá à ń lọ, ó ti yé yín, ó ti yé yín. Mo mọ̀ pé fi gbogbo ẹni sọ̀rọ̀, sọ nǹkan kan, ní ẹ ṣáà mójútó àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ́ bá ti rí ẹ má jẹ́ kán dúró ẹ ṣáà má jẹ́ kán dúró sádùúgbò yín ẹ má jọ dúró wọ́n ti padà wọlé sí máa ṣe báyìí.
They are watching our people to die. They are watching our children to die. They are watching our women to be raped. They are watching our fathers to be killed like a slop and like a goat. And the people keep quiet and do anything. American government, we call on you. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We don't have home to go to anymore. We don't have any place to call our home again. Because it is not safe for us to go. It is not safe for our people back home. Our people do not have any hope again. We are the hope of our people back home. We are the mouthpiece of our people. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the power of the powerless people. We are standing here today to tell the whole world, to let them know that Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is a zoo. We don't want that country anymore. We need our own country. What do we want? What do we want?
Recognition.
Yoruba nation.
We want recognition.
Yoruba nation.
Recognition now.
No retreat.
No surrender.
No retreat.
No surrender.
No retreat.
No surrender.
Solidarity
Forever. Solidarity forever.
Solidarity
forever. We bow by our right.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity
forever. We shall live by our right.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Solidarity forever. We shall always fight our right.
Onídàra fẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀.
Onídàra fẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀. Onídàra fẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀. Àfi tó bá kó so. Onídàríjì fẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀. Onídàríjì fẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀. Onídàríjì fẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀. Àfi tó bá kó so. Abẹ́ni. Now. Networking. Ó fún wọn wà lánìí, but ẹ má worry.
Thank everybody for coming. This is so memorable that people can leave their comfort zone and decide to do this for prosperity and decide to do this for our children. I know previous speakers have said so much, and I know my Honorable General Secretary must have touched on some of the things I want to say here today. They asked me to say something on enslaving Yoruba in Yoruba land. Enslaving Yoruba in Yoruba land. So when I was thinking about this, I felt so disgusted. How can you enslave somebody in his own house, in his own land? It's disgusting. It's so disgusting, my brothers and sisters. How can you enslave somebody in their own house? And that is what we are going through in Yoruba land, in Oodua land. I will not belabor what some of the people might have said. I will just touch on a little bit on slavery, the Yoruba people, Hausa Fulani people, and my brothers, the Indigo brothers. And the cross of my message actually is going to be APR. I said APR is not the bankers' annual percentage rates, no.
My APR is so different. Because of my message is APR because A stands for appreciation, my P stands for perseverance, and my R stands for respect for one another in our pursuit of Yoruba land. We have to respect one another in our pursuit of Yoruba land. Let me say one thing. Slavery, as Webster Dictionary defined it, is a condition in which one human being was owned by another human being. This staff I have in my hand, for people that come from Saliko, you know, when we say you say I'm happy for you and I'm happy for myself. This journey we are taking is a journey of happiness. You might not understand now, but I'm going to break it down. It's a journey of happiness, and we're going to be happy at the end of the day. We might be in our graves by the time we realize that point of happiness, but we're going to get there. I promise, and I know we're going to get there. How can you say you own another human being? Who are you to say you own another human being? For all religions all over the world, Hinduism, Buddhism, Shintoism, Taoism, Christianity, Islam, Orthodox, Yoruba traditional religion, none accept and appreciate the fact that you own anybody. None at all. And you have to be serious about this. None of the religion stood by owning another human being. You don't have a right to own them. Who are you? You don't have the right because you cannot even create that person. How can you own another human being? And we know that it is human nature, it is human tendencies to want to assert your rights, your power over another human being. And that is what we've seen over many generations before our existence. We know what happened when we had contact with Europeans. They came with whatever they think they know, and they came to Africa and started saying a lot of stuff. But it is not their fault. It is our fault. And again, it is not our fault too. We are naturally welcoming. We love people to come to us. We love people to come to us. So we took them, we embrace them, we accept them, we accept the white and the European folks, and we took them home. It is only in Yoruba land that you're going to travel and you get to people's house, they are going to leave their room for you to sleep. That is Yoruba for you. They will be uncomfortable and make you comfortable. Their food is supposed to have with their children, they're going to give you to eat. Make sure you are comfortable because that is our nature. It's just our nature. Okay, now the Europeans did their thing, and we all know what they did. I can't go into that. This is not the forum for that. We all know what they did. They did whatever they want to do, and they pretended they left. Do you understand what I'm saying? They pretended they left. They did not leave. They can't leave because they are dependent on us. They cannot leave. That's what my brother called imperialism. Parasite on host. Another brother said parasite on host. And what do you call it? My brother Abiodun just said colonialism. And the word goes and on and on and on like that. But that's not where we are going though. Today, we need to address who are we as the people, that is Yoruba people. Who are the people that are allowing other people to oppress the Yoruba people in Yoruba land? If you permit me, I want to start digressing, no, not digressing really, but I want to start communicating with you in my language, in Yoruba language. But before I do that, I want us to remember one thing. I was challenging myself a few weeks ago. I said, can I write an essay, 1,000 words in Yoruba? Just myself. I have a book, put a book on this side, put another book on this side. On this side, I want to know the diction, Yoruba diction that I know, that I can write down. On this side, I started writing the English diction that I know from my library, from my head. How many English vocabulary can I write? It is so unfortunate and it's so sad that the number of Yoruba words I can write is so little compared to the English words I know. It's very, very unfortunate. And you know, even our generation is better. We can at least write 1 or 2 pages of letters to our friends. Our children cannot write a letter to their friends in Yoruba. Some of them cannot even send text messages to their friends in Yoruba. So where are we going? We are dying. We are getting close to our deaths, right? So what will have become of the Yoruba race? When we have our children that cannot even write a letter in Yoruba. And for people that understand humanity very well, you all know that if you are losing your language, you are losing yourself as a people.
Yes.
You are losing everything. I mean, I can give kudos to the theater people, I mean, Nollywood or the musicians in Nigeria that are enticing our children to wanting to know a little bit more about Yoruba. Of course, when they go to party, they spray like their mom and dad. But how many of them can really communicate in Yoruba? So the problem here is many years ago, my main mentor, Fela Anikulapo, did a song and call it colonial mentality. You be saying you be colonial woman, you don't be slave long before, then don't release you now, but you never release yourself. I say you never release yourself. You be say you be colonial man, you don't be slave long before, then don't release you now, but you never release yourself. Okay, what is it saying? If the pretenders that call our colonial masters say they are leaving you, why are you still embracing everything about them? Why can't you release yourself from that bondage? What is the problem with us as a people for us not getting out there and do our thing for ourselves for the benefit of our people? Not benefit today, not benefit tomorrow, but benefit for many, many, many years, for millions of years ahead of us. And the only way we can go about it is by going back to my APR. But before I touch APR, slavery is not possible in Yoruba land without the assistance or the enablers of the Yorubas. We have to have people amongst us selling us into bondage. We have to have people among us selling us into bondage. I don't want to mention names here, but I know from history. I was born in the 50s, so I know from history. That whatever we do is going to haunt us. All the Yorubas that they call themselves leaders, that we thought were representing Yoruba interests at that time, they never represented our interests. They failed us. I don't want to mention Akitola. I don't want to mention, even MKO failed us. He makes sure that you never ever hear of Awolowo by using Concord newspaper to kill Tribune, and he has money to suppress Tribune at that point. Madam Olitiri is really doing a great job to redeem that name. She's doing a great job to redeem that name, and I pray God make it possible for her. I mean, what is this young man that they call Ashiwaju Awon Ajoji? Yes. What is he doing? What is he doing? I was in Lagos some times ago, and one market in Olootu was on fire. They called him, he did not do nothing. He did not even come there. Shasha market was on fire. He did not do anything. Kano market went on fire. The next day, Ashaju was there. So, I mean, I'm not going to, like I said, I don't want to mention him. Let's come back home. Let's come back here now. As a people. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Mo sọ pé APR, when the first one, appreciation mo gbé àbí. Ó tún mo mean by appreciation ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká try láti máa appreciate effort tí ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wa bá put in sínú iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe. Regardless of how small it is. Mọ́mì kan ló gbé flag dání yẹn. Àwọn kan ló ń lo Yoruba media. All this effort must be appreciated. Òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run kan, ó ń kó àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀, ó ń kó wọn lọ sóde. Wọ́n wá dé oko kan. Wọ́n wá bá èèyàn kan tó ń ba oko olóko jẹ́. Òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run yẹn wá dúró. Ó ní ó fún iṣẹ́ o, ó kú àìmọ̀ tó ń ṣe. Wọ́n tún lọ síwájú, wọ́n tún dóko mìíràn, ó tún bá èèyàn kan tó ń tún oko olóko ṣe. Wọ́n ní ó kú iṣẹ́ o, ó kú àìmọ̀ tó ń ṣe. Àwọn tó wá lẹ́yìn wa ń bí pé òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run, èèyàn kan oko olóko jẹ́, ó ní ó kú iṣẹ́, ó kú àìmọ̀ tó ń ṣe. Èèyàn kan tó tún ṣe, ó ló kú iṣẹ́, ó kú àìmọ̀ tó ń ṣe. Ìdí tó fi sọ, òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run wa sọ fún ẹ pé ìdí tó fi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé àtẹni tó ń tún nǹkan oní nǹkan ṣe, àtẹni tó ń ba nǹkan oní nǹkan ṣe jẹ́, gbogbo wọn ló máa jèrè ẹ̀. Ṣé rí iṣẹ́ tá a là ń ṣe yìí, gbogbo wa ta filé wa lẹ̀, iṣẹ́ tá a ń ṣe yìí, a lè má mọ̀ o, à ń tún nǹkan oní nǹkan ṣe ni. Nítorí pé púpọ̀ nù wa àtọkọ o, àtayá o, àtọmọ o, gbogbo wa Amẹ́ríkà mi lọ wà. A dẹ̀ fẹ́ torí àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà ṣe. Ẹ rí pé kò sí kẹ́ máa jèrè ẹ̀, kò sí ẹni tó máa stop ní láti máa jèrè ẹ̀. Nítorí pé tó bá ń ṣe dáadáa, ó máa jẹ èrè dáadáa ni. Because kò sọ́nà méjì, dáadáa la máa fi sọ dáadáa. Nature ni kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Bible àbí Quran. Ẹ tó bá ṣe dáadáa ló máa gbà. Ìkejì nínú tí mo fẹ́ rán ara létí ni perseverance. A ni appreciation. P perseverance. Ṣẹ́rí, ohun tá à ń ṣe yìí ó máa rough o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa rán ara létí o. Ó máa rough gan. Ìgbà mi a máa ṣe ìbàjẹ́, a máa jà. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn olórin kọ̀ọ̀kan ní kan gbà kan, wọ́n ní ká ṣáà máa fún orí ìtì, ká sì tún ní tẹ́lọ́rùn. Mo pẹ̀ ó bóyá àórèrè yẹ. Mo fẹ́ ká máa forí ìtì o. Mo fẹ́ ká ní tẹ́lọ́rùn. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta ń bẹ̀, òun ni respect. Àórí ẹ̀ òun ni respect. Ká máa respect. Àtọmọdé ni o, àtàgbàlagbà ni o, àtobìnrin ni o, àtọkùnrin ni o, ká máa respect ara wa. Nítorí pé tá a bá fúnra wa lọ́wọ́ yẹn, la máa lè fi débi tá à ń lọ o. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká lè débẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká lè débẹ̀ o. Inú ìwé àgbọ̀ ara yá yá o. Mo dúpẹ́ o. Mo dúpẹ́ o. Tẹ́ fún mi ní ọkọ̀ tó ti láti sọ yìí.
Yoruba nation! Yoruba nation! Why do
A máa pe àwọn màmá wa. Màmá kan bí ọkùnrin mẹ́wàá. Màmá no nonsense. Màmá tí ò gbàgbẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìyá láyà gbogbo wa. Ìyá tó ju ìyá lọ. Yeah, ìyá gbogbo wa nìyẹn. Yoruba nation! Either they like it or not, we will get our land. Either they like it or not, we will get our land. We are not going to look back. No going back. No surrender. No retreat. No surrender. God bless you, ma.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless everybody here.
One woman battalion.
Mo kí gbogbo lé, mo kí ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, lọ́kùnrin, lóbìnrin. Yoruba nation, Yoruba exit, Yoruba exit, Yoruba exit. Oodua nation, we want recognition. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ni lack of basic amenities in Yoruba land. Lack of basic amenity is in a denial in Yoruba land. I just want to mention a few. My cousin works in a cage in Lagos State. Normally, on the normal circumstances, it's supposed to take like 15 minutes to get to work. But unfortunately, in this situation, the current situation in Lagos, it will take him up to 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours to get to work. So if he's going to work, it will take 6 hours. If he's coming back, the same thing happened. So, and it has been like that forever, and nothing was done. So, Third Mainland Bridge has been constructed more than 20 years ago. Still remain the same, no expansion, nothing whatsoever. It's getting back, as a matter of fact. So these cause traffic jam, and we all know that, we have experienced it. Secondly, poor educational system. School fees went up more than 200%. No facilities and materials that students are need for learning. School buildings are collapsing, as you can see on the pictures. You can see how school buildings are. University students have not been paid. University lecturers have not been paid. As a matter of fact, in my state, Ondo State, I'm from Akure, and in Ondo State, lecturer of Ondo State Polytechnics Award is called Vosgiva Polytechnics. Now have not been paid for the past 12 months. And can you think about that? Just take a minute and think about it. If you have not been paying for 12 months, how are you going to feed? What do you think is going to happen? How about if you get sick? So that is the kind of situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. Government act as if nothing is happening. Their children study abroad. Most of them are in this country, some in Europe, all over the world. And the money they are using to pay for their children's school fees abroad are the money that's supposed to be used to develop the country. But they are using it for their own selfish interest. The educational sector is in a denial. Recently, the Minister for Education walked out of students that went to his office. They asked him a simple question, very simple question. They asked him, they said, Mr. Minister, they said, why is it that your children are schooling abroad? Why don't they school in Nigeria? He walked out of them because he has no answer for that question. They asked him why he cannot buy what he's selling. At least if you are selling any product, you should be able to use that product. He was not able to buy that product. So think about it for a second. Poor health institutions and facilities, our hospital are mere mortuaries. Doctors have been on strike since August 2nd, 2021. Think about that. If anybody is sick and went to the hospital and there is no doctors. So most of our doctors are traveling around the world. we left in a situation that one doctor will be attending to like maybe 80 patients, 100. And just think about what happened recently this past Sunday. So the people that are supposed not to die are dying as a result of no doctors whatsoever. So those are the things that we are going through in Nigeria as of today. Inadequate power supply has been ongoing for a long time. Yoruba are meant to be paying electricity usage in the north. So either you use the electricity or not. Most of us here, we have houses in Nigeria, and they will be sending the bills to you, even though you did not use it, because whatever they use in the north is being spread out on us, we in the south. So we ended up paying their bills for them. That's how the system is being designed. And that's the reason why we are calling on the president, Joe Biden. I know you are a good person. The vice president, Kamala Harris, the United States, to please come to our aid before it's too late. Please come into our aid. This is a 911 call. It's an emergency. Nigeria, we are more than 270 million. Can you think about it? If anything happened, people will trip out. People will fight for their life. Please and please and please. We don't want to come to this country be illegal. We don't want to be a refugee. We want to build our own nation, which is Yoruba nation. Yoruba has been, we have been in a system before 1960. So please and please and please, you know what is going on. We are telling you now. I know you have heard about it. You know what is going on now. Please call me to our aid. Help us. Please help us. We need your help. Yoruba are meant to be paying the electricity usage once again in the north. A lot of companies move out to a neighboring country. Some cities are living in total darkness. It's like hell in the cell. Our poor drainage system in Yoruba territory that lead to flooding during rainy season. You don't want to experience that. You don't want to. Because during the rainy season, I don't know how to describe it. Lack of unemployment opportunity due to corruption. There's a lot of unemployment, of which you know is at a high level. Denial of right to live happen every day just on June 5th. This Fulani herdsmen went to our church and bumped people up, shot as many as they can in our Ondo state. And the president did nothing about it. Absolutely nothing about it. And as a matter of fact, the television station are not allowed to say anything about it. Because anybody that Fulani killed, if they say something about it, they will shut them down. Those are the things we're going through. So April 2nd, 2022, the same Fulani attacked the government moving train, killed 8 people, injured 25, kidnapped 168, up to now, as we are here, me and you. The president, whatever I call himself, Buhari, cannot say anything about it. Those people are still in the hands of Fulani herdsmen. He didn't care about them, but what they are saying is their election. Even though the job that we hired him for, he's not doing the job. And he wanted to go for another one again. Those are the things that we are going through in Nigeria. With all this ongoing, with the Southwest Yoruba people said enough. The country, Nigeria, has expired. Things that expire will not yield any good things. The amalgamation of 1914 have expired. So, for example, if you buy any milk in the store, when they expire, the taste, even though you do not check about the date, the taste of that milk will let you know that this milk has expired. And that is what we are going through in Nigeria, because that Nigeria, the country itself, has expired. So, what we are saying now, we, the Yoruba people, we, the Yoruba, need recognition of our sovereignty. To the United States government, to United Nations, to the entire world, we need recognition as quick as possible, the people of Yoruba. And we have signed 5.1 million You can see us here today. We might not be up to 1,000, but more than 5.1 million Yorubas have signed the referendum that we are ready to go, that we can't do it anymore. Enough is enough. Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, Vice President Kamala Harris. And thank you, the Department of State, because I know you're going to do the right thing and you will do it as quick as possible. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you, United States. God bless Yoruba Nation. God bless you all.
One woman battalion. She's a battalion.
Yoruba Nation! Pariwo tó tirẹ̀ wá ní. Tó tirẹ̀ wá ní.
Bọ́ǹfò yín náà ni.
Tó tirẹ̀ wá ní. Yoruba Nation! What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Now, a fẹ́ àwọn ìyá wa, ẹ̀yin màmá wa, ẹ mọ orí, ẹni orí ní oko ní problem. Tó bá mọ orí dáadáa.
No, I think go for don't care about John. I last give 10 minutes. Go para baba, get do around there.
Ẹ jẹ́ yín màmá tẹ́ bá mọ orí, ẹ gbéra bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbérí. Ṣé ẹ gbéra bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbérí? Ṣé ẹ gbéra bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbérí? Màmá olóbẹ́ bá kọrin. Màmá olóbẹ́ bá kọrin.
Ìyá mi. Ẹ bá
Àyàn.
Àwọn àyàn lọ yàgbẹ́.
Ẹ bá wa.
Àyàn lọ yàgbẹ́.
Àyàn. Àyàn.
Ìyá ọmọba.
Àyànjú.
A fẹ́ kí flag bojú àwọn tó fẹ́ jó.
Okay.
Kí gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ bọ́ sójú agbo.
Màá ní sísí àyàn sí tòsí sí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ká lọ jẹun like bí 5 to 10 minutes. By then, àwọn àyàn ti dé. Táwọn àyàn bá ti dé, wọ́n máa kọrin fún wa like 5 minutes also. Then from there we continue. Bàbá Òjó we continue from there. Ẹ ṣé, thank you so much. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jẹun, ẹ jẹun, ẹ wo, ẹ jẹun ká tún dì lọlé. Bá mi gbé. Sí ètò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Media, kí wọ́n bá wa communicate àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ti lọ ní. Mr. AY, everybody, Yoruba Kingdom, Otunba Olabode, we are just going to have a break for now to all those who are watching us, and we'll be back so they can talk to people about what is going on in Nigeria, the election and everything. But as per the rally, we are going to come back shortly after a brief break. Thank you, everyone. And stay blessed.
Thank
you. 5 to 10 minutes, ẹ ká lọ jẹun, ẹ̀yin màmá wa. Ẹni tí tẹ bá dì dáná kí n mọ̀.
Àwọn àgbàlagbà ló sọ nípa
ẹ jẹ́ lọ jẹun, ẹ jẹun dáadáa o. Ẹni tó bá lè jẹ tọ́kẹ́ pè mí. Máa ràn lọ́wọ́.
Wọ́n lè já, mo fẹ́ máa play music lẹ̀. Fóònù mi lè máa lè.
Máa ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ni. Ẹjọ́ máa ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́.
After that,
so we are Citizen AY, we are logging out, but you people can still stay in the Zoom link. You can still stay on the Zoom. So we'll log back in few minutes.